All right. What's up? What's up? Tournament starting. Here we go. Should be a good day today. Just doing a normal SFT. There's a million signups. Jeez. All right. Should be a good one. Dang, that's a lot of signups. Jeez Louise. All right. We got Meaty Dangler in here too. Oh, hell yeah. Hype, hype. It's not your night to bully me into Empire Cav maxing. Yeah. I want to really practice my Empire today. Also, in other news, so the crash, I think, yesterday, I think it was Steam. Hey, what's up, Trizik? Happy to have you here. Upon further investigation, the issue, I think Steam had like a partial shutdown or something. One of the Steam servers just borked it, and then that crashed everything on the CA side. I guess they're very intertwined. Such is life. We move on. And we get the grind on today. With a fun wee little SFT. Goblins, round one. Alright. Joni has a bye round. Let's give him a Swiss point. The goal today is to get good enough at Empire where people might even ban them, because right now I think my Slaanesh is in a really good place. Anytime I play Slaanesh, we just annihilation everybody. Hey. But ooh, up against Potatoes Devil, hell yeah. Potatoes Devil. But yeah, I gotta start working on some other factions. That's the goal. What's up, Peaceful Romancer? What's up, Miss New Booty? Ghostbusters, I love it. 3A, 3AA3. Are you B6's alt account? What's going on? Hey, what's up, Meaty Dangler? He's Dark Elves. I'm Empire. Should be a good one. Should be pretty good practice. Alright. So we banned Celestial Lake. Let's play Crystal. Alright. Nice big flat map. Loving it. So generally speaking, what is the problem with the Dark Elves? How do we take them out here? I think I just do this. Mildly staunch spheres. You know, they are actually really comparable to High Elf spears. It's kind of sad. Let's see. I'm expecting a lot of Dark Riders in the sort. Maybe even some Bolt Thrower action. You want to see big spider artillery kiting? I don't think it does that much damage. I don't think it'd actually be a good enough kite unit. In land battle where you have much more time, mayhaps, but that's about it. Ooh, this'll be fun. Ooh, alright. Oh, this'll be real fun. Sure, let's do this. And then my army. What is my army gonna look like? Pretty vanilla, right? I think, I'm going through the different things that Dark Elves can bring, and I'm pretty sure if I was playing Dark Elves and I knew I was going to face this build, I don't know exactly what I'd want to do. for Sigmar. Today should be a fun day. Just a nice casual stream. It's gonna be a short one. Yesterday was really long and it kind of exhausted me, so we're just gonna take it easy today. What else do I want here? I do need a solution to Cold One Knights. As it turns out, Empire kind of sucks at the cavalry fight. So there's always a possibility that Cold One Knights just wreck your face. I'm really not a big fan of Demogryph Knights. I think they kind of suck. Elspeth 60% spell mastery. You crazy, man. You crazy.
Elspeth 160% spell mastery.
We tryharding today, man. We tryharding. Let's see here. Let's do... Ooh, I kind of like where this is going. Sure, sure. I don't think Sons of Sigmar really trade super well here against most infantry. Do I want, I will add it to the list though. What do I want? This guy's actually not too bad, and then I think we just spam these guys and then I'm good. Yeah, it should be fine enough. All right, here we go. I'm excited for today. Man. Yo, I can't wait to do more best of 3 tournaments. The last one, like the ones yesterday, were fairly successful. Seemed like a lot of people enjoyed it. It's definitely a lot. It's a much spicier format. It's not for everyone. But for the top dogs in the community, it seems pretty nice. I think I'll host 1 or 2 every week. Alright, here we go. Thank you very much for the Swiss francs, by the way. I did actually take Elspeth. I was thinking of taking Elspeth anyways. So the only change I had to make to the build was taking her spell mastery item, which I don't think is a huge loss. So I brought Elspeth with Spirit Leech and Buna. She's on her dragon. And then of course we have our war wagons. They'll be great. Boom. So here's the idea. I have a cannon. Cannon crew is gonna be great. They can give them some trouble. Just a couple flagellants for capturing. But this is mostly a wagoning game. Ready, good luck, have fun. Here's Elspeth. There's her spell amping item. Where's it at? The Pale Scythe increases intensity when spells are cast around her. How have you been? Pretty good. Yesterday was a little rough. Steam servers got shut down for some games, and it seems like it hit CA's Total War series. That kind of just botched it up. Lokir Felheart. Wowza. Good amount of Dark Rider shields. Alright. Cannon's gonna have its way with them though. Elspeth has a big speech. Holy Hammer of the Witches. I guess Hammer of the Witches would be good versus elves. Who would have guessed? So that's already a pretty big value pickup at the start of this year battle. Question is, do I start Spirit Leeching Lokir now or do I wait? I think I'd rather save my magic for a rainy day. I think that's just a smarter play overall. He doesn't appear to have many units. Are we gonna see shades maybe? Are there shades? Are there units in the trees? What's going on? I don't really know. So far it seems relatively safe. I gotta be wary until we see some units revealed though. Because an ambush could always do a ton of damage. And we're not about that life. Burning head, not a problem. Lokir, even taking a little bit of damage. That's laser beam breath attack right on Lokir. That was the worst decision he ever made. Lokir is eating it right now. Holy crap. Oh my god. Lokir did not have a very good day this day. All right. Yeah, you don't mess with Elspeth, man. You do not mess with Elspeth. She is insane. She's gonna escort him off. Shattered. Wow. Wowza. All right. All I gotta do is keep my wagons alive and then we're fine. Dang, man. Holy moly. Beautiful. I even have some extra magic to use Buna and such. Still gotta save my my boys here though. He's getting a lot of work done. Gonna need Elspeth for them terror outs. I guess I do have the Empire Knights, or not the Empire Knights, but the cavalry there for that. So we should be fine. They mulch the Doomfire Warlocks, and yeah, it's just a bunch of Witch Elves on the flank. Not exactly a big deal at all. These Harpies will die to my Free Company militia. And a summon of Dark Riders is no problem in the slightest. Holy terror routes. Almost make the Royal Altdorf Griffites look good. Not quite though. Not quite. They're really good at cleaning up. In an advantage situation, they're great, but they can't afford to take damage otherwise. It's the worst part about them. So get some infantry here. Let's use our guns to blast these guys. He's trying to flank with the Doomfire Warlocks, but I have the Spear Tide. The endless lines of spearmen. Could just brutalize there. These Witch Elves, I can probably just rear charge and they'll take too much damage to really do anything. And this is a pretty decisive victory, just off the back of murdering Lokir so hard. Okay, oh. Altdorf Griffites, I really don't want to get them caught up. The moral of the story is they can't afford to take damage, and because we're tryharding today, we must keep them safe. Also, I must say, Elspeth is really hype. Elspeth is genuinely a very, very strong lord. She brings a lot to the table. Oh, it's a burning head. Get dodged, son. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I'll save her spirit leech ability for later. I can bring in the Null and Ironsides to clean up shop. They're pretty jokes. They do 1,000,000 damage. Everybody does 1,000,000 damage. Holy moly. One more volley on that Sorceress of Fire. Ooh, no, they hit the Cold One Knights instead. Unfortunate. I can't Spirit Leech her, though. Elspeth at 32%. Spell Amplification. She's pretty happy about that. There we go. Supreme Sorcerer's looking pretty rough. It's gonna take one breath attack and she's dead. Not that I'm really taking a lot of damage, but from her spell casting, but you might as well. Might as well get her off the field. And there's a laser beam. Dude, what's the value on Elspeth? 2,500 already? Dude, she still has another breath attack. Jeez. Nice. Get another wagon out. Yeah, this is just brutal. So the whole idea of this build is it's just so much damage that elves can't really get through to ya, you know? And they can't even punch in with their single entities, as we saw. Though these Demogryph Knights, I really don't know. They were useful early on, though. Like, I guess they did get... Yeah, they did pay for themselves. They did pay for themselves, kind of. Anyways, he's gonna resummon Loki or something. Looks like he's decided to stay in the battle. Surprising indeed. I feel like it's pretty over. But we shall respect my opponent's decision by continuing to try hard. Continue to try hard until you can try hard no longer. Alright. Until he's left the game. Alright, you haven't won until you've crushed your opponent's spirit. Which seems cruel, but it's actually a good tournament strategy because, like, you don't want to accidentally throw games, you know? Alright, there we go. Big killing over there. Null and Ironsides are hype because they have that armor and decent melee stats. So they do rather well. They do rather well against things like harpies. Just a complete massacre over there. I will need to consolidate my forces. Let's not go for the triple cap. That's a risky business that we shall not take. He's spamming Doom Bolts to try and kill the War Wagons, but it's just not very valuable. Doom Bolts, unfortunately, are just not very impactful there. Cannon's also popping off. You'll love to see it. And I think we'll take some long rifles here. I should be able to kill these Doomfire Warlocks before they can jump my long rifles. I might be completely wrong, though. Could be a terrible mistake. Damage is decent, though. And then, of course, there's the artillery piece. Looking like my cavalry's doing fine over there. He gets a couple cold one knights here. Yeah, the long rifles were a bit of a misplay. I did end up, I should have summoned some Empire Knights instead. See, these are the types of, like, loosening up that will get you behind if you're not careful. Thankfully for me, he's, you know, he has no units. I've gold value traded him twice over. And that means game number 1 is going to be fairly chill. I kind of like that Empire build. I think it's not a bad one. 1 win, 0 losses. Cannon got great value. War Wagons. Very good at killing off Lokir, who got 600 value. Elspeth got 3k. So she did pay for herself. Didn't find out how much spell mastery Elspeth had. Oh yeah, true. I think she did her job. I really don't like the Doomfire Warlocks. They seem to always die. Yeah, Royal Altar of Griffites were great as a cleanup tool. I think overall this army's not bad. If I had to modify it though, I think I'd get rid of the Pale Scythe. I would keep Fate of Buna though. I would keep Fate of Buna. Elspeth is already so expensive, so I don't really want to take too much more on her. Although, you know, maybe Pale Scythe is okay. Do I want a bunch of spears, though? I feel like that's just safer, right? No, Pale Scythe is not the worst for Elspeth, but let's just see how many spears I can take first. Yeah, it's a little janky, right? So if I get rid of Pale Scythe, then I can take something like this. I think this is a much safer build versus Dark Elves. If they bring bolt throwers, you can dodge them and capture the points. They're not actually an issue. You do have to dodge for the whole battle, but I guess you also have the Hammer of the Witches. So if he's full rushing, you got the Hammer of the Witches. I think you can swap it out with more spears if you're really worried about a rush. I think by default it probably should be swapped out with spears. So what are we looking at? Oh, okay. Maybe I can do this. And then take Pale Scythe. That way she can have an amped up Buna to just delete Cold One Knights, who are otherwise very annoying. Do I need the long rifles though? I didn't feel like I ever really needed long rifles. Especially when you already have a Hammer of the Witches. In a late game. Yeah, because like these already... Your War Wagons are basically long rifles. I don't think you actually need them. Especially if you're seeing a build-up strat. So I think this is a good one. Empire versus Dark Elves. Feeling good. Dark Elves versus Empire. And Empire wins. Is the Sunmaker good in reserve? It's good. I think it makes you a little bit too exposed to build-up strats, though. It's a little too passive. And usually they don't have enough infantry for it to really make sense. I saw you looked into the Spider Max. Don't forget, with the greenskins, the Goblin Big Boss Hero. He has a spider too. Don't want to lose that important tool. Thank you very much. Yes, one of the things we gotta try out. All right. Good Empire build. I have an Empire build for most factions. I'm gonna try this one out next time I'm up against Bretonia. This way I won't die to a Cav Maxim. Empire versus Dark Elves versus Greenskins versus Corn. Corn is pretty funny. I actually don't feel like I need magic versus Corn. If you just go for the full kite, you can kind of just kill them all. Recapturing's a little sus with Boris. You do kind of need him though, because Volkmar can get murdered in some situations. I kind of want Volkmar though. This Empire vs. Corn build, so it also has Demigryph Knights. I think I have too many Demigryph Knights. I think I might actually change this up a little bit. Because it's a capture weight battle, as always. Yeah, you have your spearmen, but you want some cavalry too. Lone Ironsides are good. Pistoliers though. Do I want Pistoliers? I already have so much kite. Wait. Do these guys not count towards the 360 cap? They don't. You can bring 2 engineers. 2 engineers. 2 Pistoliers and 4 war wagons for the ultimate kite action. Anyways, I think you do kind of need Boris. As long as the rest of your army is good at capturing, I think you're probably fine. Is there any way I can get just that little bit faster capture weight? Maybe 1 Pistolier is good. Just enough to play keep away. They're fast, they can capture. What's not to love? Okay, that's kind of silly though. I already have so many skirmishers, I almost don't want to take Pistoliers. But like, is there anything else I can really just jump a point? You think Karl Franz needs some juice to be a viable fighter? With the Lifecaster, Franz is pretty good. It's just Lifecasters are not super meta right now. So wait for Bruckner to be useful? Yeah, they gotta make him stop staggering when he gets surrounded by cavalry. I think his stagger chance is weirdly high. I've seen him die to a Cold One Knight unit without dealing any damage back, just because he's constantly getting staggered. It's the same fix that they gave to Tyrion. They gotta give it to Bruckner. Let's see. Verse Corn. What do I want? Okay, their flagellants are like okay, I guess. Let's hear. Yeah, I don't want to break CA's unit caps and take an absurd number of 360 units. I could take a Vanguard unit. Deathjacks are Vanguard. Snipe and stalk, I guess. It's not very impressive. I think if, yeah, I think Free Company are the way to go. Just a little bit more shooting. Save this one as my Empire vs. Corn. Still have many other matchups I gotta build up, though. I've been starting to save a ton of builds. We have so many builds now. It'll be very useful when I get into a tournament. Make sure that I don't make some terrible mistakes. How are Tomb Kings in multiplayer battles? They're very good, but kind of average. And that's kind of, you know, in a tournament setting, it's not the best feeling ever. They have a few hard fights, but they're definitely strong. They can hold their own in almost every matchup. Should we adjust all the unique items? If they change how Galmaraz works, honestly, it's pretty good. I think, let's take a look at Franz. So you use Franz basically the same way you use Alberic. That's just a big old murder face tool. But he costs 2,300. So he has the Blood Roar, minus leadership. Causes terror. Lots of damage, lots of melee attack. But Boris's healing just brings so much to the table in domination. Because you can usually heal cap the guy. There's just not a lot of single entities fighting each other lately. And especially when you can take Elspeth for a fairly mild price increase. If you think about it, Franz plus a caster is very close to the same price as just Elspeth. And if you want to fight enemy lords, Elspeth is way better. Absolutely the way to go. Yeah, Usirens for Tomb Kings. Yeah, it's like in between of Malkoth's and Buna. It's great. I do need to work on my Empire vs. Greenskin build. This doesn't feel like it's quite there, does it? It's kind of janky, right? Have an Amber Wizard on a Griffin. You have a Boris. He does have Blood Roar, but this build doesn't feel like it's quite there. I would love to have just like a really solid army versus Greenskins. Yo, Elspeth's breath attack is crazy. I should bring her versus Skaven just to... If someone brings Snickage, that would be hilarious. Just insta-death. Unless he gets flung backwards, then he takes no damage. Okay, Burning Head is good versus Greenskins. I don't know how I feel about the Amber Wizard, though. Okay, yeah, he's a mobile terror piece, right? Lots of damage, can help in the cav fights. All very important, yes, but... Is there something more efficient I can bring to the table? Oh, I think she would delete Ikit the best, because Ikit is on his motorbike, and he won't stagger away. It's pretty important thingamabob. The land ship. The Dread land ship. Okay, compared to like a cavalry unit, it's nice having a big old griffin in the sky. Just for a little bit of extra fightiness. I can have so many more spears though, can't I? So if I cut this guy, how many more units can I get? Looking at 1, 2, and another archer. The thing is, I don't really have anything to kill off the Greenskin front line, right? Like, they would just wear down my front line. I guess I have the Sons of Sigmar and the Tattersouls, but I think it actually makes sense to try and fit a greatsword unit in. Because you want these little pockets where you actually win the fight. Greenskins versus greatswords. I don't think they have a great answer to greatswords. Lose a few spear units, but I don't need to be that wide. Cut this guy out for a swordsman, maybe. Get a swordsman. And then what? Just spam Free Company Militia into the horizon to just flank and shoot them. With just a handful of cavalry. I don't think I need this many war wagons either. I think, yeah, a handful of cavalry. An insane amount of infantry. Some guys to actually win the frontline fight. I do need to kill off his archers at some point, because they're just gonna be shooting into me, but it'd be a 4v3. It's not the end of the world. Could even take a Null and Ironside. They don't really have a good answer to Null and Ironsides, right? You shouldn't actually be able to jump them. So look, in theory, you could run a Null and Ironside in there. And that way they're also quite good against pump wagons and the like. Interesting thought. Very interesting thought. Kind of like this. Because these guys can actually kill off the Ruglets. Which is kind of important. They have the range and the armor to just shoot them up. Maybe. I don't know if it's the best greenskin build in the world, but it'll get there. Here you deal with Borcav, Empire Knight summons, and Boris. And a bunch of spear support. If you can play on the defensive, the Borcav is not nearly as bad. And yeah, I have 3 units of elite infantry. So the idea is, if he brings in a bunch of Borcav, I have loads of Free Company reserves to summon. I block them up with spears, use the cavalry. If there's single entities that need killing, like if I just need more Daka, war wagons are a very safe option that can't get rushed down. They're also pretty fast, good capture weight. If they're playing real passive, war wagons would be good. And I'm actually feeling these Null and Ironsides to kill off pump wagons, cavalry. One Nolan is always getting targeted. I don't think he would be taking that much damage. What's the range? So he's 145 range. It depends on if the Ruglets can actually hit him. Oh, dang. Ruglets are 160 range. So he outranges the normal error boys. I see, I see. Dude, Ruglets got insane range. All right. I see. Oh, nice. Next round, advancing the Swiss. Round 2. I'll figure it out. We're up against Joni. Yo, I'm Empire. There's a lobby code. I'm first map ban, hell yeah. I'm first ban. Ban, Whirling Maelstrom. So it's Blazing Ramparts or Eastern Isle Colony against his Lizardmen. Should be fairly manageable. Long rifles instead of Ironsides. It's not a half bad idea, good sir. Not a half bad idea. Harder to defend, but I only have 3 range units. And I have like 1 million infantry to protect them. I could almost box with them. I have so much infantry. He banned Ramparts. Eastern Isle Colony. Shouldn't this be better for the ranged faction? I'm a little bit skeptical as to what he has planned here, but I guess we'll see. Do I have an Empire versus Lizardmen build? I don't. What's the closest faction to Lizardmen? Is it Greenskins? Not quite. It's not quite the same as Khorne either. Wait, is he gonna kill me with the solar engine? He could bring Stegodons too. The options are truly endless. Yeah, I'll just have to workshop an entirely new build. Alright. Are crossbows not a better choice? Crossbows have no armor. more entities, so they're easier to AoE. Even slightly less HP. And they actually don't have that much armor piercing. Crossbows have the same armor piercing that swordsmen do. Although against greenskins, they have 160 range. But yeah, I don't think I really need crossbows. Also, they have 50. No, they have 50 leadership. What are they? Peasants? Greenskins are more closely related to fungus than lizards. We should bring the Luminarch. Let's see here. So one great thing about Null and Ironsides, they have more than 100 HP per entity. So they're very resistant to AoE. It's like trying to AoE Chosen. It just doesn't really make a lot of sense. I just gotta make sure they don't actually get caught up. We really stressing about greenskins for Empire? Yeah. Empire doesn't have a great matchup there. Lizardmen, they have salamanders. I have cannons though. I think cannons make a big difference. Yeah, this should be pretty good, this build. I don't think there's a whole lot Lizardmen can do against us. Oh, this feels like a magnificent build. This feels absolutely magnificent. Okay, so now I just need a cav counter. Honestly, 4 Empire Knights and 1 Royal Altdorf Griffite is enough to handle, I think, like 90% of the cav issues you run into as Empire. Mostly you want to have like war wagons and spears to kill off most other problems. I should be fine versus Saurus. I'm not worried about that. So what should I worry about? I'm not even worried about pterodons, actually. Ah, yes, magic. Magic, yes, that thing. Okay. Alright. Empire versus Lizardmen. It should be a good one. Shredder of Lustria. I think this build does beat the Shredder of Lustria. I'll be happy to be proven wrong, but Shredder of Lustria, it'd be close. It'd be close. It's always that tipping point. You bring it down 90%, but if it lives, you lose. If you barely kill it, you win. What's this? Exclamation mark con command? I don't know what that is. Saurus also have like 100 HP? Oh, dang. Dude, Null and Ironsides. Tanky as Saurus. Alrighty. So, the biggest issue I've had with Lizardmen, typically, is when they spam salamanders. This build can handle them, though. Because we have a cannon, a glorious 4 Null and Ironsides. The burst damage on these guys will annihilate basically everything they come into contact with. Because they have so much DPS, I'm actually not very worried about pterodons. And the only thing that could realistically take me out, I feel, is just like a fat infantry rush. But even so, I've bought a great sword. I brought the Sigmar Suns and a whack load more spears in reserve. I should be fine. That bone is actually really low resolution. People always talk about disabling debug camera, but then I can't do stuff like this. And admire this, admire the pixel art. So I assume the map maker got a doodad and they scaled it up massively to make this giant thing. But this is probably supposed to be way smaller than it is. Or way further away. One of the two options. Alright. The plan is simple. Look at these guns. Null and Ironsides for days. He can banish them, but they should not die. They can give each other cover fire. And they can defend the Great Cannon. Looky here. Lots and lots of infantry for days. Very nice. And that's a formation, if I've ever seen one. I just kind of have to park here. And unless he has a crazy ranged build to outshoot me, I should be fine. Giving him the good luck, have fun. Four Nulns are either dying hard or winning the game. I think since they got their price reduction, I shouldn't be punished as hard for that. I haven't experimented much with them, but when they work well, it seems like they're really good. Today's their big test. They do outrange salamanders, which is one of the main reasons I took them. And they won't rout like your normal handgunners either. 65 leadership's not bad. Then of course that armor and HP. So I think they would do way better than a bunch of handgunners. That's my theory. It doesn't look like there's a lot of entities though, but they do shoot faster based off of their how long they stand still. So if they're standing still for 10 seconds, they'll be able to reach the maximum fire rate. From my opponent, Razor Dawn Hunting Pack, 100 range. So he doesn't outrange me. He has a Burning Head caster. 4, 5, 8, 11. He has 3 units in stealth. I'm also just kind of supposing that we can kill off skink skirmishers with these guys. Oh, crap. I forgot to take these items off. Well, I guess he has the Power Stone. Kind of awkward. Just a wee bit awkward. Gotta get them hotkeys. So lots of skinks, I'm noticing. Lots of skinks. He's going to capture this point over here. We're going to need to get into position. I can position like this, actually. Because if he captures this point, he's just getting shot, so... It's not like you can do much about that. Well, what do I want? So, my cannon can start shooting right away. His sheer number of infantry, though, is a little terrifying. Can we get some pot shots on these chameleon skinks? Return fire! Holy, the return fire. Jeez. Blast them up. I gotta make sure he doesn't have like some stealth skinks in the back here. But I'll kill a few chameleon skinks. I'll get a few chameleon skink kills, why not? These guys do a lot of damage, even through their physical resist and missile resist. Chameleon skinks are getting bullied. I think I'm a little too far posted up with these guys though. They're taking just a little bit more damage than I would hope for. It's gonna be a pretty decent dodge with that Burning Head. It's a high priority spell that my opponent should not be wasting. And then of course the Null and Ironsides. Here they go. They are about direct shot. And here's the problem with Lizardmen. How do they engage on this position? right? He's done a lot of damage to my Sigmar Sons. I think moving forward so quickly was definitely a misplay, but I do have great swords. Unfortunately, only 5 capture weight. CA admitting to us all that indeed great swords are not elite infantry. Let's just pull back a little bit more. So salamanders have made it out. They're safe. I mean, the Razor Dawn hunting packs. But yeah, they're just made useless in this position right now. Let's make sure he doesn't summon in any annoying chameleon stalkers over there. Let's break up formation so that he doesn't land a crazy burning head or anything. Maybe we'll kill these guys. And there's the rush. Little does he know, though, he is absolutely falling for my trap. He does summon a Dread Saurian, though. It's a little late, however, right? I feel like the Dread Saurian's a little late. I can even save my Marcus net for it. So when he does go for the deep dive, it should be pretty bad. He keeps chucking out the burning heads, too. We're on point today. I'm tryharding. I got the jukes. Alright, so yeah. Saurian is coming on in. So how is he going to try and work with this thing? I think if I just kill his lord, his leadership will be so struck from the loss that it'll be game over. Because there's no way a Dread Saurian will be sticking around after the lord gets routed, right? He's taking 1 million damage from the Null Ironsides. I am also not wasting much of my ammunition. Here comes another dodge. Oh, hell yeah, I can use a Blast Scroll. Blast Scroll was actually useful, maybe. Get it down. The Blast Scroll might have actually done something. Holy crap, Blast Scroll, best item in the game. That was pretty jokes. But yeah, now this thing's just getting shot to pieces. I'm pretty sure he's completely dead. He just was unable to advance on my position. And the Null Ironsides are sick. They're absolutely amazing. Holy crap. The deeps. The deeps on these guys. And then they pivot and fire so fast. Goodbye, Pterodon Riders. You served well for the cause. Let's keep Powell driving in. We haven't been flanked yet. So I guess we'll get another unit of cavalry. Chase those guys down. I'm in no rush to capture the point, by the way. I'm here to have a good day playing a shoot 'em up. And he leaves. Wow. Now that was pretty sick. That was pretty sick. I kind of like that build. It felt like Lizardmen could literally do nothing. No Ironsides, Omega value. Omega value. Instant Lord Snipe. Good burning head dodges. They even kind of shredded his chameleon skinks. Jeez. Jeez, man. He got some good damage, though, on my elite infantry. But, like, he just could not close in on my position. Brutality, indeed. Yeah, so let's get rid of these items. I don't need that on them. I can get anything else that is even more... that is mildly useful. I just don't want them to be so expensive. What, can I get an Empire Captain? How much is a foot Empire Captain? $350. Hey, what does he bring to the table? You can give him hold the line. So, okay, if you think about it, a Grail Relique. A Grail Relique is often taken to buff infantry. Why would I not take an Empire Captain as a pseudo Grail Relique? Because that's not really what I need. It also doesn't give ITP, which is kind of a big part about this. So it's Empire versus Lizardmen, and Empire wins. Huge misplay on the Dread Saurian, yeah. I think he shouldn't have summoned it. And after he summoned it, he shouldn't have tried diving my lines. It got deleted, man. It got mega deleted. Now, is there any way I can make this build better? I don't think I need this many spears. I think the biggest thing that had me worried that game was a potential backline dive. And I think the best units to deal with that, if we're facing Cold One Knights, I could even bring some Outriders. Or maybe just a unit of Pistoliers. Like, just something to chip away at his cavalry if he shows up in the backline. Pistoliers are okay. I could take 3 of them. They really don't do well versus the Chameleon Skinks, so it's not like I'd always want them. But they're relatively fast capture weight. Don't really kill Pterodons, though. I think I would replace them. I think I would replace them with 2 Outriders instead. They're like War Wagons, higher DPS, easier to disrupt. But if Lizardmen don't have a way to disrupt them, I think I'm happy. Let's save that build. Also, never take never take the Dread Saurian against Marcus Wolfhart. That's the moral of the story. You only managed 2 mouthfuls of dinner. Dang, yo, the game wasn't that short. Witch Hunter does give ITP. Is there a... What's the cheapest Witch Hunter you can take? Yes, Grim Resolve. Dude, okay, so that means he's a 50% more expensive Grail Relic. He does give leadership and ITP, and he's a Grail Relic that can fight. If Empire ever becomes Batonia, maybe they'll start running Witch Hunters as janky Grail Relics. He's a Grail Relic that hits for, you know, 120 damage every 4 seconds. It's a lot of damage. 50 ammunition. So, what? He can deal 5,000 damage with all those bullets. More than 5,000 over the course of the battle. Surely he pays for himself. He has Accusation with a very short range. Lasts a long time. Reduces armor. Could probably help in cavalry fights if the range is better. It just doesn't really work well with the Empire though, right? I think Empire aren't usually counting on their infantry to hold that well. They already hold really well. No one's usually terror bombing Empire infantry too much, like they do with Bretonnian infantry. Like Bretonnia, you need that extra leadership in ITP. Empire, it's a little excessive. He doesn't have hold the line though. He has Tools of Judgment though. He can, yeah, against a terror-causing unit, he can actually fight pretty well. Except for the fact that he has no HP. 3,700 HP is a disappointment indeed. I guess it means he has a counter, but I feel like, you know, keep the HP low, make him cheaper. And we would actually see some Witch Hunter play, maybe. Hey, Lily. Hello, hello. First time chat. Dang. Ironsides for the win. Yeah. I'm happy that they feel usable now. In very niche circumstances where you just need that absurd DPS. But yeah, they have so much DPS that unless you're like full deep diving them, if they're able to shoot for like 10 seconds, it's over. Is this normal tryharding or 100% tryharding? I think this is just normal tryharding. I'm not going full sweat today, but limited donation requests. Also, speaking of, so I do plan to play this Chaos Dwarf campaign that was, you know, donation requested a while ago. It'll kind of be like a sponsored stream. It probably won't be on Saturday though. Maybe on Sunday, but we'll see. I might just do it on Monday, based on how things pan out. But yeah, it should be a fun one. Basically, it was requested to me that I try out the mod that brings the drill mechanic into Immortal Empires. Let's see here, yeah. Drill of Hashut mechanism for Immortal Empires. Let me see. It's a lot of extra information that I'm not really. See, what's the challenge again? Let me see if I can find the challenge. Yeah. Total War. Try to do the drill and a short/long campaign victory. Sounds like it'd be pretty chill. Yeah, so just do it like an only war. Basically just an only war campaign. Should be fun. You like Chaos Dwarfs and Lizardmen because they don't speak English? Yeah. How do you like Null and Ironsides after cost reduction? They feel situationally good. Null and Ironsides are really interesting in that they outtrade a lot of range units. I actually kind of want to see how they compare to something like a Ruglids. Can you try grenade launchers in any of your games? I'll add it to the list. Today's a pretty
Can you try
day.
grenade launchers in any of your games, maybe in reserve? Are they okay in some matches?
They are okay in some matches. I will see if the opportunity comes up for them. Thank you very much for the £5. Euros, my bad. Did not mean to associate you with the British. But yeah, no. Thank you very much for 5 euros. I have nothing against people, you know. Anyways, yeah, I'll try grenade launchers. It should be good. Let's see here. Where are they at? Greenskins. I want to see if the Null and Ironsides wreck Rugloods. I think they might actually. Troll country. The biggest problem with the Ironsides is if you can get into melee with them, they're a really expensive range unit. And that's just kind of rough. Yeah, text-to-speech is good for mid-game donations. Whoa, what's going on? Camera was freaking out for a second. Okay, so Ruglides have a lot of range. So let's say you have to actually march up to them, right? So take a look. Take a look at the deeps. At max range, they're kind of trading evenly. They're more expensive though, so maybe against Ruglides. Ruglides are really good though. I was kind of hoping that they would crush harder. Dang, yo, does this mean every faction would just run 5x Ruglides if they could? Dude, Ruglides are insane, man. 160 range crossbows with 70 armor, bronze shields. Oh, the bronze shielded, no wonder. Jeez Louise, Ruglides. Alright, give him a burning head, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Okay, so Leech Lord and Grombrindle. Leech Lord should have... Okay, yeah, Leech Lord and Grombrindle should both have 1 Swiss point. Honestly, not bad though. Though they didn't get more value. And they are more expensive. By a lot. I remember trying to shoot them up though. And I just got outshot. Super hard. Can we see, how do they compare versus like... Let's see here. What's a good unit? Okay, let's say Kislev. Let's say you're fighting against Kislev. I think the unit that I was trying to fight them with was the ambushers. And it ended up going so bad. Ambushers are not exactly a ranged dueling type of unit. But let's just take a look. Okay, yeah, so let's see this. So let's say you have 2 ambushers, right? And they're trying to kill the Ironsides. They have 60 armor. Never mind, maybe they suck. Maybe the Ironsides just suck. Never mind, alright. Situationally good, I'll leave it at that. Oh man, what a disappointment. How do they compare versus cavalry? Yeah, how do they compare it compared to just normal handguns? Why do they suddenly look so bad all of a sudden? Okay, 2 winged lancers. First one to rout the winged lancers wins. The price wise, 2 null Ironsides are slightly cheaper than 3 handgunners. Maybe I should just take 5 handgunners. Alright, so let's say I got handgunners. They're posted up and they're ready to fire away at the cavalry here. Alright, so there we go. So what are we looking at? Who can rout them off first? The first volley is way more devastating. Rapidly, the Ironsides catch up. Holy crap, I should just run 5 handgunners. Dude, what is this? What is this even? Okay, it's kind of close though. And of course, it gets a banishment, like. Okay, you know what? Here, let me show you the real value. Can I make these guys good look? Look good. This reminds me of the flaming sword testing, where it's just kind of hard to make it look good. These guys are even harder to make look good than flaming sword. That's a bad sign. Okay, let's give them the most optimal situation, right? So you have a Mazda Mundi as the Lizardmen, right? You know what? Give it 2 Mazda Mundis. And then they have, like, what would be easier to shut down, right? The Handgunners or the null Ironsides? I'm just gonna replace them with Handgunners if this doesn't go well. If you let them sit, they get their entrenched stability thing. Yeah, but the Handgunner first volley was so damaging. First volleys are really important in this game. I guess if we're talking like against in some situations it's a long grindy shootout. Like in that Lizardmen game, it was a pretty long grindy shootout, so it was a little bit better. Okay, so take a look at this, right? So there's 2 banishments, 1 on a handgunner, 1 on the null Ironside, right? Damage looks like it's fairly similar. But then ruination of cities. Okay, yeah, see, these guys are on the verge of routing. These guys are still around. So yeah, you see that? These guys, oh, they did lose entities. They withstood the ruination of cities much better, though. They did lose 15 entities. It's the, yeah, I think it might actually be very similar. Maybe I can do a mix. I guess they're fairly similar. Maybe. Oh my gosh. What a disappointment. What a disappointment. This true, they don't die to dogs is hard. And furies. I guess if I take 5 or if I take 4 of them, it's kind of like the handgunner situation. Or you can't take that many handgunners, so it's like I'm like really overstocking on them. I don't know. Yeah, if your opponent's really trying to shut down your ranged. Yeah. It could be better to bring just handgunners. I think the Ironsides, so if you bring too many units, it can start getting a little unwieldy. Getting all your units in position. So I guess they have pretty nice density. It's a really compact way to get just a bunch of units in the same place. How many handgunners could... Okay, let's just take a look. How many handgunners could I realistically take here instead of those guys? Like, yeah, it'd only be like 1 more handgunner, right? Or like 4 handgunners and 2 archers. Which feels like... Compared to the 4 Ironsides, I think the 4 Ironsides is actually... You know, you have 200 gold left over, but like, yeah, I think 4 Ironsides... I think it kind of works. Especially once you have them all together. And they can retarget really quickly because they reload fast. Is it the best thing I've ever thought of? Eh. Empire Captain the Goat. I wish there was a way to make him work. He's no paladin, man. He doesn't have that anti-large. He does have 50 melee attack. And he costs 600 gold. Unfortunately for me. And everyone else. He's non-armor piercing. He's also 600 gold. Like, you can almost stick a whole unit of cavalry for that. By the way, this SFT's flying by real fast. Goblins. Goblins. Round 3 has begun. So I'm up against Martin. Hell yeah, Martin. Martinus. Yo, yo. I'm Empire. Give me your worst, good sir. Give me your worst. Slaanesh. Oh, Nelly. Thankfully, Empire is not the worst versus Slaanesh. I'm a little terrified, though. Okay, what map do I want versus Slaanesh? I'll ban Edge of Darkwood. Edge of the Darkwood, way too big. You're playing Creeping Swamp or Imperial Ambush. Not the worst maps. How does one beat Slaanesh, though? Generally, all you need is a handful of ranged units. Just a handful of ranged units. And then a whack load of spears. Just infinity spears into the horizon. Never ending. And then you're kind of there. You hate fighting Slaanesh? Wait, you mean you hate fighting Empire as Slaanesh? Because Slaanesh don't have archers. I want to play Creeping Swamp. That's the map I had selected. So I gotta make sure my Lord doesn't get sniped. I can make it dangerous enough for him not to deep dive me. But I do have to worry about those Slaaneshi infantry units. Armor could potentially be the end of me here. So what is the best way to deal with armor? Do I bring Elspeth again? Just Elspeth for days? Honestly, she's not the worst. She's actually not the worst. Like, genuinely. Elspeth could kind of clutch this out here. Oh, dang. You know, the money actually works out pretty well. I kind of like that. I kind of like that. Yeah, pointy sticks for days. I think the pointy stick supremacy is gonna go hard here. Furies are technically a threat, but it's not that hard to just have some cavalry to clear off the Furies. I think my front line is relatively sturdy. I'm not too worried there. The anti-Sigvald beam. Sigvald shouldn't be a big issue. I'm personally not that worried about Sigvald. I just need a strong enough front line to tussle. Force him to have to dive my back line where he's at a disadvantage. And then it should be a pretty easy win. Though Furies are gonna be a problem. Is this a matchup where... Is this a matchup where Null and Ironsides are good? No, this Slaanesh Furies, they have armor piercing. Don't want to make that misplay. That'd be a big problem. Elspeth plus a light wizard. I don't think you need both. Alright. But yeah, I should have everything that's just generally painful for Slaanesh here. All of these units are kind of problematic for them to deal with. Each and every single one of these units does pretty good. You know, I could even cut these guys. And then take these instead. Ooh, I kind of like that. I do kind of like that. Mm-hmm. Alright, alright. I like where this is going. This is actually a much better build. Much, much better build. And then what? One more of these dudes? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The mighty Empire vs. Slaanesh matchup. Volkmar double warrior priest. We must fight chaos with the holy vows. Oh wait, no, that's Petunia. Do I want huntsmen? I feel like huntsmen are really prone to getting caught and murdered, which makes me kind of want to take them less. This feels like a pretty decent build, I'd say. I could do this. Could get rid of that. Take one of these. All of this feels amazing. Empire versus Slaanesh. Okay, let's see if it actually works, though. While I may be able to think of a build that works well, actually testing it out will be a little difficult. So Slaanesh is problematic because as soon as your front line breaks and they start chasing off units, they're gonna spam their army abilities and murder you. So, but Slaanesh has some weaknesses. And if you can exploit those hard enough, they'll never get to the point where they really start snowballing. Like, Slaanesh is absolutely a massive snowball type faction. But this should definitely work out in my favor. So take a look-see. Engineer double war wagon to pressure him into a bad situation. 1 million spears. And then I'm gonna box. I'm just gonna filthy box it. Like, why do I even need to split up my lines, right? He doesn't have Burning Head. Okay. We're gonna play this like a land battle. And that should actually be super hard for him to win. Oh boy. He will get a pretty solid surround on my guys though. Ready? Good luck, have fun. Alright, yeah, I just gotta channel my inner land battle. My inner land battler. Alright. Can't flank the unflankable. Okay, that's a lot of Forsaken.
cut our foes asunder.
Chaos Sorcerer, Lord of
It is time we
Slaanesh.
ushered them over the threshold
What is he doing?
to death.
Why is he... Is it literally just so he doesn't get sniped? Hysterical Frenzy. Whoa! Buffs and debuffs. Rod of Torment. Alright. So he brought the super cheapo Lord so that I can't Lord snipe him. Actually pretty smart play. If I kill this guy, he'll come back with the Rod of Torment. It's still a pretty good pick overall, but it's a little rough. Now, he doesn't have any terror. Nor does he really have any good AoE, so... Yeah, I think I just kill him with War Wagons, right? I think he's literally just dead to War Wagons. It should be pretty difficult for him to, Yeah, it should be pretty difficult for him here. That did not do a lot of damage. Yeah, I think I just War Wagon kite him and play ultra defensive. Because, like, he doesn't have a Lord or Pavane or anything. Just has a bunch of normal units. Some Chaos Warriors, okay. That is not a thing that I worry about very much. It should be a pretty good Mercurial shot. All things considered. Oh, dang, that's like 400 gold value. Alright, I gotta not just walk into him though. I'm happy to tank Rod of Torment. It's not a big deal. And he's not gonna get Devastating Flanker on me. That's for sure. So it should be pretty easy for me to just kind of bully him, right? Like with the great swords coming in, it's gonna be problematic. I got more kite, man. I actually have a rather absurd amount of kite here. It should be pretty difficult for him to get anything done. Run, my wagons, run! Let's scoot up with these guys to potentially save him. Looks like he potentially wants to take a fight. I think that would be a bad idea. I'm gonna save the Bunas. You know, I don't want to spend it up. And then he just wrecks my face. Okay, so great swords are gonna sub out here. The Marauders are not an issue. The great sword should be able to do amazing work versus the Forsaken here. And then of course I have my wagons. Wagons are in the back line, just sitting back and defending well. And I'm just never gonna let him flank. This guy's never gonna ever flank me, ever. Alright, that should be pretty good. Looks like, yeah, this... The Spear Maxing continues. Flanks are indeed secure for most of these guys, at least. He gets a little bit of a rear charge here, potentially. The Forsaken are a little spooky, but it seems like we're in a fairly good position. Okay, yeah, he has a couple Forsaken here, but they're gonna get shot up by my free company. So it looks like this is just going to come down to a big ol' melee grind. It's just gonna be a big fat melee grind. He did deep dive with the Fiends, which is kind of rough for him, actually. And his Lord is taking a lot of damage. His Lord's taking a rather absurd amount of damage. Oof. Tiny bit of a route there, though. Let's pull back. I need my great swords to hold, first and foremost. And as it stands, these Fiends are a little problematic. Though I will be able to keep summoning in range units. I don't have many archers. The routes are pretty bad. He's losing a lot of Fiends. I am up trading too, which is a good sign for me. As I continue to bully his Lord. Of course, there's a little bit of a timer on me. Before, you know, he just wins by capture tickets. So I don't want him to do that. Let's bully the Furies a little bit. I can actually Buna the Furies. I have the magic. And I want them dead. Because otherwise they'll just shut down my ranged for the whole battle. We don't want that. Absolutely not. Elspeth will live. Very nice. I still have all my wagons alive, which is important for the recaptures. They recapture so quickly in the late game that I'm really not worried about the number of tickets he has so far. There you go. Fiends are getting blasted. Then I can begin going for them chariots. Hopefully we get some good line of sight here. If we don't, it would be a little bad for me. These summons are important to make sure that it's not too rough for me. We got some fiends pushing in, all right. Okay, and there's some Hellstriders. Just a few basic Hellstriders is not a big deal, though. Let's get those Free Company in there. They're getting some good shots. The Great Swords are winning some of the frontline engagements, which is very important. But I'm going to need enough Great Swords to actually carry out the victory here. Hellstriders are definitely problematic because I don't have another Buna for them. I'm just going to have to settle for less and work with what I got. And that means just trying to get the Lord Snipe, really. Just get the Lord Snipe and ignore them. I'm sure they'll rout off once the Lord's dead. He's looking pretty beat up anyways. He's getting awfully low, too. Yeah, he's getting real low. All right. Mercurial Shot could actually really kill these guys if I do it just right. Looks a little janky, but hey, pretty nice Mercurial Shot. All right, and now I can start thinking about recaptures. So he's going to be spamming Hellstriders most likely, at least by the looks of it. So spamming Empire Cav is probably my best bet. We've mass routed his lines, so pushing forwards is now my goal here. There we go. And with his Lord dying, he can't really afford to like resummon him, right? He's already so far behind on value trading that a Lord loss means that if he resummons him, he'll just have no capture weight. And that will be the end of my opponent. Usually in these situations, you want to capture 1 point at a time, by the way. Don't try to capture all 3 points, because your opponent's going to fight back and they're going to stall you forever if you don't do it just right. So this is a super important part of finishing the game. So I need to capture this point and then run away to Elspeth so that the fiends don't kill me. Point number 1 is secured. Nice. But unfortunately for me, his Lord did survive. Now that doesn't mean it's over for us. We're actually in a really good position right now. I just gotta kill off these fiends. Can I, ooh, well, hello! Overcast Spirit Leech. Don't mind if I do. That's a perfect timing for me because it's gonna rout off his caster. And it may even get his fiends into the crumble zone. You'll love to see it. So that's second capture. And that's GG. I could play pretty safe from there. He knew that it was over. Once your army wiped, it's pretty brutal. Overall, I think the build was okay. He went for the deep dive, but having great swords was just really good. Whew. It's pretty clean. That was pretty clean. I think he probably could have won if he delayed the fighting a bit longer, though. I think he could have squeezed out more tickets and made it close. Even with the war wagons. I think he could just give up points and just try to mass capture. Because I'm not that mobile. And then he can probably get some easier engagements once I'm in the middle of the map. Mercurial Shot went great. This is really good for making sure he doesn't bring a Greater Demon. Greater Demon is an insta-loss here. And then, of course, the Great Swords. The glorious, glorious Great Swords. They didn't trade super effectively, but the fact that they traded meant that I didn't have to worry about the mass armor. And then, of course, he couldn't bring in his Seekers, because they would just die. Buna's insane. Not a bad build. I think I might cut the Pistoliers, though. Not bad. You know, an ITP guy in the front would kind of be hilarious for Slaanesh. What? Like, you're thinking an ITP Witch Hunter, right? It's a 55-meter range, leadership +4. If I'm actually blobbing this hard, do I want this guy? The thing is, he stops the guys from routing, but like, I'm down 2 units of infantry. Like, I'd rather just have another greatsword. The engineer wagons are really good. I think Elspeth is really good. The pistoliers felt lackluster though, right? I think I don't want pistoliers. I think I want another war wagon. At some point I gotta try out grenade launchers. But I need to find an actual good matchup for them. Maybe in the next match, because if I lose, I'll still have a tiebreaker. But yeah, I think I do go for 4 war wagons, the engineer, and just don't have the pistoliers, because I don't think they really bring much to the table. Technically, they can lord snipe, or maybe they can capture, but they also die kind of fast. So they're not even that great for capturing. I think this is just better. Empire versus Slaanesh. Let's save that one. Fan art of a witch hunter holding a grail relic. When the grenades have been great versus all that infantry. So you gotta tell, anytime you feel like a unit is great, you gotta tell me what to cut. That's the rule, because an extra 900 gold will be great no matter what it is. Yeah, a War Hydra would have been great versus all those infantry, right? But, you know, this doesn't mean the War Hydra's good just because it would have been good there. So, like, what would I be cutting? If I lose 3 spears, my flanks are way more exposed. He already almost enveloped me there with his infantry. So I feel like I really needed those spearmen to clog up the fiends. I could have had a mass route. If you're telling me to cut the war wagons, you're insane. The engineer was also great. Mercurial shot took out half of a chaos warrior. So I really don't see what I'm supposed to get rid of. I think they would have been better than the pistoliers, though. Oh, you're just asking my opinion on it? Oh, well, in that case, sorry. My bad. My bad. The complications of, the complexities of talking in person are completely lost in text most of the time. So I read that completely wrong. I apologize. Grenade launchers, I think they would have been better than the pistoliers, is generally where I put them. They actually don't have that much armor piercing anymore. If you want them to work, you need to find a situation where you have a massive amount of a lead in terms of skirmish dominance. And if they can just sit there and shoot at infantry all day, it's amazing. But usually when you have skirmishing dominance, you're already winning, right? So yeah, and the DPS, I could see it if you're really trying to get to a point where you just need enough DPS to clear them off, because sometimes war wagons don't have enough oomph backing them up to to actually clear off everything, right? And then maybe you want grenade launchers for that. I don't know. Typically Outriders are just better, right? Outriders are the grenade launchers, but better. More range, armor piercing, and cheaper. So I don't really see what grenade launchers do better than Outriders. I think you would almost always want Outriders. Some people would say against infantry it's better, but they just do so little damage. In fact, might as well test it. Testing is important. Let's see. Troll country. I must know. So if I go Empire, right? So let's say you have a golden situation, right? You have an issue with undead. I think this is like the first thing that comes to mind when Empire is getting shut down by a million undead units. People are like, why don't you bring grenade launchers? So let's put it to the test. And we'll see who can kill between shielded skeleton spearmen and normal skellies. Oh wait, no, they're both shielded. Never mind. Let's just see. Let's just see how it works. I think this would be the best case scenario for the grenade launchers, because I think they get rid of they get through the shields. They clap unarmored infantry. What doesn't clap unarmored infantry? Empire Knights also clap unarmored infantry. All right, let's see this. So let's say we're in range. We're not moving or anything, right? We're getting pretty close. Who will do better? Grenade launchers might be able to just delete these guys in seconds. And that might be good enough. Yeah. There you go, right? So if you want to clear off infantry, just take the grenade launchers for unarmored. Okay, yeah, they absolutely clap them. They clap them way harder than I thought they would. Holy crap, that is a clapping. All right, you know what? Maybe I'll run a one-of. Maybe a one-of as a cleanup crew. That was insane. Never mind. Get out of the way, Outriders. Everything I said is wrong. Holy crap. Let's test against Graveguard Halberds to see if there's a difference. Do the grenade launchers outpace even here? Rare chat W, I know, right? Yo, that's not, yeah, silly Billy. What was I thinking? Grenade launchers for life. Let's take a look. So if you have skirmishing dominance and the only problem is you have to clear infantry super fast, it seems like grenade launchers are just way better. So that's a volley from the Outriders. Wow, what the crap? I've never seen them do this well before. Yo, that's kind of crazy. Bro, broski. All right, never mind. Yeah, just always go grenade launchers. screw the Outriders. I don't even know why these guys exist anymore. Like, okay, see one more shot. Holy crap! Oh my goodness. All right, that was sick. Okay, so if you really want to delete some chaff, get yourself some Outrider. I should have taken the verse Slaanesh that last game. Clearly, I don't know what I'm talking about. Wow. Dude, they don't even suck for his armor. All right. Infantry deletion tool. I can work with that. Full kite build. So what? You bring 4 war wagons, 2 grenade launchers in reserve, get skirmishing dominance, and then just grenade launcher them to death. Yeah, Outriders are better versus cavalry, which is what they're gonna summon to deal with your skirmishers. But the grenade launchers did great. That's crazy. They are slower. Slower firing speed, 10 seconds, 13 seconds. Outriders take longer to reload. Wow. Outriders actually garbage. Yeah, I thought they got nerfed. Apparently they're sick. Maybe it's because that's in a vacuum. Maybe in an actual game they don't target the center mass of units or something. I don't know. Yeah, okay. So, next game. If I can run grenade launchers, I will try it out. That is definitely an absurd amount of damage. And I think there's enough opportunities where the enemy will just be out of position with a random infantry unit that you just summon the grenade launcher, delete the unit of infantry, and then you call it a day. Like, they've already paid for themselves once they do that, because they're going to have to invest to shut them down. It's kind of hype. Just every build is going to have 1 grenade launcher in it now. I'll have to see how it works in practice, though, but I'm definitely ready to give it a go. I am most definitely ready. Yeah, apparently really good versus chaff spam. I would actually consider running them against vampire counts. Where is my vampire counts empire build? Did it get deleted in the Great Purge? I think it did. I should remake it. How's the bracket doing? One more match needs to finish. So, what are we looking at here? I think against vampire counts, you want to run 1,000,000 spears to capture points. You want to run the Sigmar Sons and the Tattersouls. Even if they get scab scrathed, it's not the worst. Well, actually, no, it is pretty bad. You don't want them to get scab scrathed. You do run the quad war wagon. And then you run an ultra cheap Gelt, because you literally just have to capture points. So mega cheap Gelt at 550. You have a bunch of wagons. You're bringing 2 grenade launchers in the reinforcement pool. They outrange pistol mobs. 100 range to 80 range. They actually outrange a lot of skirmishers. Very interesting. Very interesting. Against vampire counts, I don't think you run the archers because it gets shut down too easily. What was it? What was it that I like to run here? Oh, these flagellants are height. So they cost 33% more than your usual flagellant, but they also have 33% more entities. And they also have +9, +5 stats. So if you think about it, you're basically getting a fully chevron flagellant for free. The only downside is they have to be grouped together, but yeah, it's you just have 40 more flagellants and they're all chevron. It's great. HP, as you can see, gets increased, extra 3000 HP. So if you think flagellants are good, Tattersouls have to be amazing in your eyes. If you ever run flagellants, these guys are in theory just way better. The only exception is if you're really worried about AoE. But even so, normal flagellants would kind of suffer the same way. So, there you go. Okay, so what am I running against vampire counts? I feel like I'm forgetting something very important against counts. What was I taking against counts before? I remember the spear spam. I think it was just a bunch of swordsmen and 2 flagellants. Like, I think it really was just an absurd amount of infantry. The Demigryph Knights are there literally to just clean up the elite, like Blood Knights and such. Take the Royal Altdorf Graphite for Blood Knights. Just Blood Knights. And then, did I run Free Company? I don't think I did. The Luminarch. The Dread Luminarch. Oh, I think I remember. I think I did take 2 units of Free Company to capture the point early, because it was actually kind of important. Yeah. I think this was close to it. Feel free to give me advice, but I think this is pretty close to what I did. Goblins, round 4, then Tiebreakers. Daceberg. Yo, yo. I'm Empire. Oh, Empire. Give him the lobby code. Yeah, am I missing anything? I don't think a Luminarch is the way to go. But you just need a hell of a lot of capture weight, because most of these guys will trade up into skeletons and zombies. Daceberg. He's ogres! Ooh. Alright. Alban. Bordello. I did want to try a game versus ogres. Nice. No Burning Head versus vampire counts? Yeah. It doesn't have that many uses, really. because you'd have to take a whole nother wizard and a separate lord, and I'd rather just have Burning Head. I mean, I'd rather have more infantry than Burning Head. Like, 2 more spearmen are really important, because the vampire counts match is so much about just trying to capture points that yeah, and like, you might think Burning Head's good at clearing infantry, but Final Transmutation is also really useful because it kills White Kings. He wants to play on Glinty Tooth's Crag. Alright. So we saw the Empire fall to Ogres the other day. So you know this matchup's kind of rough. So finding the Maw spell common. Which Maw spell? Okay, Empire versus Ogres. Oh boy. So we do have cannons. I think a cannon is a given, but I really gotta make sure I don't get rushed. First and foremost, I need to be immune to a rush. Second thing is like the lore of the Great Maw. It's fun. It's they use it for the heals. I don't think Null and Ironsides are good here. I need to be able to shoot up ogres and not get just taken to Pound Town, which is why I feel like skirmishers are important here. The problem is if there's too many lead belchers, I just die. Unless I shut them down with artillery. So we really have an interesting back and forth here. We're kind of playing chicken with each other, right? Though my opponent definitely has the advantage, because he can choose not to go into range of my cannons. War Wagons are kind of janky against like Powder Guts and Lead Belchers. They just do so much damage to chariots, both of them. And I think it's almost a guarantee that we're going to see my opponent have that. These guys are a given. These guys are also a given. Lord-wise, though, what do I even want? This is not the worst. I could also do this. Yeah, this is not the worstest thing ever. So can take that, get rid of that, take those two. All right. All right. Ooh, man, that doesn't feel great. Does not feel great at all. Expensive, expensive. Man, ogres are such a menace. Oh, do long rifles outrange? Long rifles have 260 range. If we go to the Ogre Kingdom's roster, lead belchers have 200. So technically, I can outrange him with long rifles. I'm pretty sure cannons are better on almost every single front. But if I wanted to be crazy, I could do that. But yeah. I think anyone who's ever taken too many range units into ogres knows that you just can't really run a lot of range into them. So we're pretty melee heavy. Any range I have has to be able to play keep away. The question is now, do I want something like Empire Knights? I guess I kinda have to. Guess I kinda have to take at least a couple Empire Knights. This build don't feel too good. It feels positively bad. Oh boy, this feels really bad. Alright. Yeah, no, these are just a bad idea to summon in. I don't want to bring those guys in. Let's not bring them into this world where there is only pain and suffering. I can't use my usual strategy of killing off Gnarblars, but at least the cannons are okay, I guess. Long rifle meta. I think I'll run one of a long rifle in case we see just an absurd number of lead belchers. I'm pretty sure they outtrade lead belchers viciously well, because that extra range is pretty nice. I'm a little worried he can just walk up with his lead belchers, tank a few shots, and then just fire back and then dead. But at the very least, I have a build. We'll see if it works. We saw Ogre Kingdoms crush it last time. I'm gonna see if I can put an end to this menace. We have not seen an Ogre Kingdoms loss in a while. He's already ready, oh boy. You know Kislev prayers are god tier, but you don't remember if warrior priests can bring something similar? Not at all. Warrior priests have a very short-lasting damage resist ability. They have soul farm bombardment, which doesn't do that much damage. Small AoE around them. It's decent at clearing chaff, but it doesn't make up for them. For the warrior priest cost. Because like white kings are indestructible, warrior priests, it's like they have a weaker scav scrat and they're worse fighters. Yeah, ogres is spoopy. Alright. So this is the best. This is what the greatest minds of the Empire could conjure up. It's another man tide. It's another man tide with war wagons. Who would have guessed? Now I do have some anti-Noblar tech. We bought 2 grenade launchers as was requested. If we win this, then I will take the grenade launcher request off. And the idea is very simple. Have a ton of infantry walk up in a block. Hold the points, shoot them with cannons, and call it a day. This hill gives me pretty good line of sight. He did opt for lead belchers. Oh yeah, and I have Frains. Any Frains enjoyers out there? I got Frains. Alright. So Frains is hype because usually magic is not very good with ogres. So why not just use magic on yourself and heal them with the regrowth, right? We're bringing them back. We're bringing them back. We should be able to do well. So we see 3 units of lead belchers. Count them, 3. Okay. That's a healthy amount of lead belchers. Rather terrifying indeed. I need him to rush me down then, right? Now a rush on this map is pretty difficult. That's grounds to summon a second artillery piece. Kind of sus because I have almost 4,000 gold in range units right now. He has about 3,000. The way to play Warhammer is to have slightly more gold in your range units than your opponent. That's a solid way of getting a mild value positioning lead. Of course, the cannons are great. And then I just gotta ward off these blood vultures with Frains and co. Frains and wagons. There's a capture point. I gotta play safe. If he wins, I want it to be a win because of capture points. I don't want to see him win because of because we just get run over or I get shot to death. So here's the play. We start focus firing the lead belchers. Get them out of here, right? Yeah, they're already shooting into the Tattersouls. So I'm gonna need to get some value back. But the cannons hurt so much, he basically has to advance. And with the blood vultures getting hounded down by my war wagons, I think we're fairly comfortable here. We're inviting the triple cap. I'm just letting him have it. Here come the blood vultures. Frains can keep the wagons alive and tear out the vultures, so I don't think he can full commit here. I think that would be a big mistake on his part. One of the lead belchers is already suffering greatly at the hands of my stuff here. I'm gonna bring in the cavalry, ready to countercharge some blood vultures. There we go. There's the Frains. And we're just going to route them off as fast as humanly possible. So we're going to use the buff. We're going to... Yep, there we go. Franz innate them. Franz is a beast. The great thing about Franz is he has that deeps difference, right? Boris don't got that. So that's a pretty easy route of all of them blood vultures. I would like to escort these guys off with cavalry. They come just in time. Nice. I don't want to get shot to death, but it looks like we're doing pretty well so far. Ogres are having a really hard time moving into my defensive position here. Wow, they rallied? How is that even possible? I don't know. Cannons are popping off, though. He's not able to get in range on my units. One of them's routed over there. I'd say we're in a really good position right now. Mostly because he did not rush, right? Like a rush build would have been completely different, but I would have summoned very different units to counter a rush. So Franz is still doing great. And I just got to support this little flank over here. A lot of ogre bulls that need dealing with. These are not pigback riders, so we can just fight them. We can, I don't really need to... If I go there, he's just going to countercharge with bulls. And that's way too painful for me right now. I'm going to avoid that problem by just doing this instead. And you know what? Doesn't seem like he has a lot of counter shooting now, does it? So now we get to see if the grenade launchers can actually cook. I'm very interested in this. I'm very, very interested to see. I believe they will. Quarter HP damage over there on those guys. Okay. Not bad, not bad. We've chased off his birds. Nice. I think the defensive play has been going very well for us. Yeah, they're not really deleting these Noblars just yet, though. Okay, that's the volley that does it. Nice, nice. So they're routed. I knew they were going to route. So we can just escort them off. Or we don't have to escort them off. We just move on to the next unit of Noblars, the pigback riders. Gonna chase down these ogre bulls. Get them out of here. And then if my guys don't get caught up, I think we're happy. Franz in the meantime, just routing fools. We're actually just letting Franz get shot. Because we know we have magic in the back pocket to heal. So I don't actually care that he's shooting at Franz. He's actually just losing ammunition when he could be shooting at my infantry instead. A very nice trade for us. Can the grenade launchers get a volley on these ogre bulls? Let's see. In the meantime, Franz is doing great. Cannons are still online and operational. Hey, and the grenade launchers kind of friendly fired, my guys. But they do route the ogre bulls, so I think it's worth. Big routes abound over here in the center line. I'm able to recapture one of my points. Very nice. Franz continues to live. And then we can start blasting the pigback riders. Line of sight's kind of janky on them, but hey, there we go. Yeah, so they do about quarter HP damage per volley. In testing, they can get half HP, but in an actual battle, they generally don't get as nice volleys off. But I'll take half. I'll take a quarter. I'll take a quarter of their HP gone. That's still very good. Value trading wise is through the roof for us, by the way. I'm not worried about that at all. And all those investments trying to kill the cannons have yet to really get any value, though it looks like one Saber Tusk pack might eventually get there. Look at those grenade launchers still popping off. Good to see, good to see. Saber Tusk pack, though, they're getting in. And I don't have any summons. That's kind of mabby. Kind of a misplay on my end. He gets a pretty nice Flock of Doom, too. I still think the grenade launchers, they should be able to tear those guys apart. Is it going to jump these guys? Warrior Altdorf Griffites are almost there. Come on. Come on. Get in there, boys. I need them for that terror out. It just stands though, this battle's basically over. I can't wait to see the value on these grenade launchers at the end. They've been mopping up. As soon as I got that mobility advantage, like as soon as a skirmishing advantage was mine, it went really well for me, right? Like, they're able to just sit around and just be a complete menace here. So I do kind of like them to like really secure that lead as soon as the opportunity comes up. He has killed off my artillery though. They're gonna hunt another unit of Noblars. Maybe even kill his lord. That would be pretty funny. We'll just park him right there. We rampage some saber tusks. Nice. I'm holding 1 point, and I'm just gonna make sure I don't lose that point first and foremost. Nice. Lord loss penalty. Abound. Hell yeah. I can de-summon my artillery. I don't really need them much anymore. This one I'll keep though, because it does give a leadership debuff. Nice, nice. And the grenade launchers can fight. I guess lead belchers doesn't feel like the smartest idea, but the lead belchers are low enough where they might win. We'll see, we'll see. Do I want long rifles? I feel like long rifles will be good for cleaning up the rest. And yeah, not terrible damage versus lead belchers, but nothing amazing, right? In the end, I think my opponent made a couple misplays though. Losing the carrion to my cannons early on without doing anything was really bad. And then, well, I guess, yeah, from there is pretty over, right? Oh, yeah, and then he also shot Franz instead of shooting my infantry. That was also a big misplay. You don't want to shoot Franz because I'll probably just heal him, right? He doesn't have enough sniping tools to actually kill the man. Regrowther is in. I just got to capture 1 more point, and then we're good. Got to make sure we don't overextend. Let's pull these guys back. He's spamming dismembers on them. Which I feel like it shows that he's worried about him, right? If he's spamming dismembers. They do rout in the end. 900 value, okay. Not bad. I'm gonna give up this point to capture here because I want to make sure my forces are consolidated. It's better for retaking points to consolidate. There we go. Artillery can keep firing in over there. Actually, yeah, I'll shoot at the Noblars. I just want 1 shot, literally, for the leadership debuff. Minus 10. Hit by artillery. Yeah, damage by artillery. That's all I needed the artillery for. We can de-summon it. They'll terror out to the Royal Altdorf Graphites, right? Yep, there we go. Honestly, I think if you're really good at cycling your artillery and hitting different units with it, I think that's like one of the big secrets to become the best Warhammer player ever. I think it's a very underused tech that is kind of sitting out in the open, waiting to be used effectively. But no one's really had the time to use it yet because learning matchups is kind of more important. But I do think it would be pretty hype to see one day. So that is a triple cap. But the battle is not over quite yet. There's still actually a lot more fighting that's going on. He did get Ogre Bulls on my guys. Okay. Somehow my long rifles got Ogre Bulled. Can they actually kill them? Are they going to rout the Bulls? Oh my god, they won in melee. Oh, Chad long rifles for the win. Rip my demi knights. This is why I don't like demogryphs. They kind of suck. You there, you have to heal Franz now. Franz is insane though. Look at him go. The Emperor. He only has 700 value, but his ability to route everything he makes contact with is great. And it should be as simple as just bringing in the boys now. The grenade launchers rallying to continue pummeling these units. Very nice. Look at them big routes. I'll escort them off the map. He's still triple capped, so we know we have a lot of time. Unfortunately, my units are real slow. This guy also has so much magic. I haven't cast a single spell this game. Might as well have healed those spears, but whatever. Hey, look at that. Outriders came back. Is it because the chevron? Is the chevron keeping them around? I don't know. Okay, there's another spear. I am out of ammunition. There's a reason to believe that a late game against the Ogre Kingdoms would go south. Against all odds, my opponent has actually managed to pull back quite a bit, all things considered. I need to keep these wagons alive for capture weight.
The enemy has captured one of
I think
your
I
victory
probably
points.
should just desummon them, right? I think we do. We get the fat desummon. France doesn't really need the healing, but the vigor boost is nice. So I'll kind of take it. There you go. Most of the wagons are down. And Franz is in. As we all know, Franz, when he gets in a fight, he's gonna win it. Let's desummon the warrior alt dwarfs. And yeah, I just gotta hold on my summons. It's very tempting to just summon the cannon because it's there. But it doesn't actually do anything. It's way better to wait, save your money, and get better units. Especially if you're not in a big rush. And that's gonna be GG.
Unending glory
So
is
I hope you enjoyed seeing the grenade launchers do not bad versus ogres. I think I will genuinely run them more often. They were kind of sick. They were kind of amazing. Let's see, was it this one? Yeah. Thank you very much for introducing me to such a unit. Hammer of the Witches. Omega value. Flagellants were okay. Infantry don't really do that well against ogres. War wagons did absolutely amazing. I think my opponent could have won if he didn't make those early rough misplays, because it ended up getting pretty close. He could have just weathered the storm. Just get shot by cannons for a bit. Like the ogre bulls, they can take it. And then just go for a big fight and win in the late game. The long rifles were only okay. Hey, wow. By the end of the game, they got 1,500. Jeez Louise, man. That's really good. That's actually really good. Holy crap. Bro. That's insane. I can't believe I was writing them off. They did better than the Royal Altdorf Griffites. Clean 4-0. Empire Unleashed. I'm starting to feel more comfortable with Empire now that I've been playing them a little bit more. I'm still a little wary. I feel like a full ogre charge would actually kind of brutalize this build. It really depends on how well Franz can actually ward off everything. But yeah, like a full-on just collapse in there, he could do a lot of damage. So I might update the build a little bit. More DACA from a tool belt? Ah, hell yeah. But yeah, I think I should make it where I disincentivize a full rush as much as possible, right? So opt for more war wagons. The Sigmar Suns and the Tattersouls are just too expensive to field against ogres. I think it's much smarter to just spam chaff. And then you can run one huntsman. Cause he's not gonna see the huntsman. Right? So he's not going to be like, I should full rush this army, right? That's just insane. Actually just stream sniping at that point. Yeah. So we run the huntsman. He's just there on the off chance that my opponent just doesn't have the right answer. It's not that it's not that brilliant. But I think the huntsman does actually cook pretty well here. Another interesting thing I could do, actually. You know who doesn't die to lead belchers very quickly? This dude. Wait just a darn second. If I get an engineer. Hold up. What if I get an engineer and use him to kill lead belchers? That's pretty big brain, isn't it? Is there any way I can, what cost 800? Or he can provide grenades. Yes, he can give extra restocks. That's true. You know, Mercurial Shot's just kind of good on him. You might as well. He's getting a little bit bloated in terms of price, but like, whatever, man. So I use the Engineer. I can only bring one. Engineer, triple war wagon. I think the long rifles are a nice forcing tool, but they don't do that much more than the cannons. The Royal Altdorf Griffites were okay. They're okay. You might need them versus some of the elite Ogre cavalry. And of course you can heal them. So I guess it's fine if we're keeping frames. I could bring a halberd unit, but he's just going to be the first unit to get shot. So like, it's not that worth. Not that worth, right? Yeah, Engineer is really good deeps, man. He's insanely good deeps. 6 shots at 80 AP per shot. He deals like 500 damage for each volley. It's bonkers, man. I could take the Death Jacks. Aren't they stealth? They are. So they're my janky huntsmen. You know what? I kind of dig it. So I have janky huntsmen, a ludicrous amount of spearmen, triple war wagon, engineer to kite them. That should force them to dive bomb me. A healthy amount of Empire Knights, a grenade launcher for cleanup, healing for the Royal Altdorf Griffites, double cannon for the Lead Belchers. I feel like I need one more cavalry unit. Like I should cut a cannon or a long rifle. And I think the long rifle is less useful. I would rather just have more Empire Knights, I think. And then I have some extra money, so an archer. Alright. I think this is as good of an Empire versus Ogre build as I can get. I have a lot of Empire matchups in my tool belt now. That's quite nice. No life. Oh, what the? He does have life bloom. Why does he have life bloom? Thank you. I'm a fool. I'm a fool. What am I doing? Yeah, he doesn't need life bloom. That is not something that is useful. I just kind of accepted that he would cost 550. What am I doing? The problem with Death Jacks is they're just really expensive archers. Really expensive stealth archers. So the idea is my opponent might commit to a fight without enough units to shut down the Death Jacks. So if he knows what the Death Jacks are, it's really bad. But if he doesn't, and he sends one Ogre Bull to try and kill a Spearman, and the Death Jacks just fire away, it is a free win. Now, Huntsman would just be better. So, I understand that. But, like, how do I squeeze in the Huntsman? Huntsman would be so much better. Yeah, they have bonus first large and everything. Oh, boy. It's just... I guess I don't need the restock. Restock is fun, but I think upgrading to Huntsman is just better. So now what? I have 475. I could take a crossbowman. Is a crossbowman worth just one lone crossbowman? I'm pretty sure I can do better than that. I need like a backline summon to defend my artillery against vultures and saber tusks. And I think a free company is just the vanilla backline defender. Because you summon them in and they get a volley off on the vultures and it just sucks for them, so... I think this is it. I think this is the most cooked build we can assemble. Berserk brought the Cathay Cav Max against your Zinch today and wrecked you. How do you build against it? Yo, I think Cathay's actually meta with that. I think if played well, Grand Cathay's actually insane. Though blue fire is spamming to kill the single entities. Well, I guess they do have fire resist. I think you just need 1,000,000 Doom Knights. Oh, yeah, no. For this build, my opponents are cooked. This is genuinely a very difficult build to beat with Ogre Kingdoms. I can't imagine a lot that they could bring that would do well here, especially with France just being absurd. So France is 56-38. Boris is 47-35. 400 melee. Yeah. 400 weapon strength. I guess France doesn't have that much. He does have the Reichland Runefang, though. I don't know. France is so much more expensive than Boris, though. So France comes in at 2,300. It might just be better to run Boris because he has Crush the Weak. Boris has Crush the Weak. He might just be a better France. I can get a whole 300 gold extra for running Boris. That's kind of absurd. That's kind of absurd. Yeah, no, I think Boris is just better. Crush against ogres, Crush the Weak is just better. There's a reason why people don't run Franes, right? As much as I want to try and make Franes work, let's be real, Boris is just better. It's sad. I don't even need the regrowth at that point. It's true. I can run something better, like a. I actually found that Crushers really suffer to Doom and Darkness. Crushers hate eating a fat Doom and Darkness to the face. I can also have them with Spirit Leech, so I literally just save them in the backfield as a tech piece to like finish off their Lord or Doom and Darkness. If we see Crushers, no guarantee. This will also let me get another Huntsman. I do still want the Free Company Militia, though. Is there any way I can make this slightly cheaper? Okay, let's see how many players we have in the top section. Okay, not too many players. Looks like we have 7 players with 3 or more wins. Me and Maximilianaire, we both got 3. Martin and a real kitty. Yeah, they're fighting to get in there, so we'll see. Yeah, I do really like having a Free Company Militia in reserve. How can I squeeze in just that little bit more? I don't need the Hammer of the Witches. I can just have 2 normal cannons. It's nice. It is also 300 gold more expensive. And I don't really need the magic damage. I know there's accuracy, but accuracy doesn't matter that much if your opponent's dodging anyways. It can actually be a detriment in the worst case scenario, but yeah, I think this one gets me there. Now I think we have a more optimized build. Couple Huntsmen. Very resistant to Rush. Very resistant to Lead Belchers. Really resistant to Thunder Tusks. It's all good. Alright, looks like Stern Guard has to drop out. Alrighty. They did have 3 wins, but I just won't count them. Alright. So we're still waiting on Martin and a real kitty. Bilbo Baggins. Ooh, if Bilbo Baggins wins, they will also be in the running. Facing against Lemur's Bane. A lot of big fights going on. Soul Blight on the mage. Nah, Soul Blight doesn't do much. Soul Blight's not a useful spell. I think Doom and Darkness to rout off Crushers is what I want. And he's literally only there just to do that. Just to be that little bit of extra oomph. Combined with Boris. But most games I don't see myself summoning this guy. Unless there's like a 6 Spirit Leech or something. You can get the 200 gold item on Boris. What, this thing? White Cloak of Ulrich. I don't think Boris sits in melee long enough ever for this to really play a big part. I'd rather have 2/3 of a spearman. 2/3 of a spearman can get a lot done. Never underestimate having a little bit more chaff. Skaven know what's up. 200 gold left in the bottom is not optimal, but I can live with it. You could also put this guy on a horse. That way he can actually capture points. It makes them a lot more expensive, so I have even less reason to summon them. But, you never know. As emergency capture weight, it's pretty jokes. He'll have basically the same capture weight as an Empire Knight. And then he can get into Lord sniping range just a little bit easier. The thing is, like, Ogres are really hard to Lord snipe. Yeah, in a lot of cases, I genuinely will just end up not using magic. The other option is to replace this guy with Burning Head. I think that might just be smarter. Roasted Toasty some Noblars. Breaking that Noblar front line is just really good, right? Honestly, yeah, this is probably just way more optimal. 500 gold Firecaster? Are you kidding me? Yeah, that's just... You know what? Let's not be fancy. I can see myself using Burning Head way more than like the odd, oh, I gotta route some elite cavalry. Yep. And Flaming Sword, please. Foe Seeker is good for Boris when no regrowth. Yes and no, yes and no. Foe Seeker I would definitely consider, I just don't really know what to cut. And hot swap. I could just take it for the speed boost. Sometimes getting there a few seconds earlier could be helpful. I do like having 9 spears. I think it's kind of a side grade. Like if you really want to hunker down and use Boris a lot, you could take the Foe Seeker, you could take the Hold the Line, get an extra restock on this guy. But is that really going to be the big plays? Maybe the restock. Okay, I could see myself cutting a spear, taking the restock, taking the Foe Seeker, and then taking like Master of Ballistics. I could see that being slightly more valuable than a random spear. Only slightly though. Only very slightly. Because then Boris can actually jump around a lot more. I don't have that many sources of terror. It's all side grades though, right? Like none of this actually matters very much. It's gonna be a Lord throw that makes me lose the game anyways. Fireball, Lord Snipe is not the worst, but I think Ogres are just way too hard to snipe. They have so much healing. And the Lord is very easy to keep safe. This ain't no Skaven shenaniganery. Are the Empire Knights picked over Reiksguard because of the cost? Okay, Martin also has to dip, so won't be able to play Tiebreakers. But yeah, Empire Knights are picked over Reiksguard. Buna is sometimes run on the Ogre Kingdoms. And most of the cavalry is there to just get one charge off. Against Ogres, the Bulls do so much damage that your cavalry doesn't really benefit that much from the higher stats. You can be an Empire Knight, you can be a Reiksguard. An Ogre Bull charge is gonna hurt no matter what. Even applies to Demogryph Knights. So running the cheapest cavalry you can is kind of all I need. Also way better versus those Carrion. Yeah, Foe Seeker can help Boris be microed and such. it has some utility. 100 gold is a little steep, but I can see it working. Especially just getting to places on the map, which I felt like I kind of needed that game. Maybe you can kill some lead belchers and then run away. Still waiting on Bilbo and Lemur's Mane. So Daceberg and Martin are not going into the tiebreaker matches. We're still waiting. You find war wagons boring? I can kind of see it. It's a kite unit. What do you find interesting, though? What do you find interesting and why? Honestly, probably the reason war wagons do technically have counterplay, but I think the reason they might feel boring is because your opponent is trying to give you as little counterplay to war wagons as possible. So it doesn't feel like you really get to do much with them. But there's a lot of stuff going on with war wagons, more than if I bring like a unit of cavalry. Guns, because you like powder. Ah, I see. A man of great simple pleasures. Gunpowder's great. I can appreciate that. I can totally appreciate that. And yes, I know war wagons got guns. It's not enough guns though, right? I think that's the deal. Like, you want a massive volley that routes off the opponent in one shot, right? None of this little tiny pew pew, right? War wagon DPS is one of the lowest in the game. If you really want to see them though, if you really want to see them cook, let me know when done. Bilbo, one of these games is taking a while. Let me know when done. If you really want to see war wagons cook, you shoot at single entities with them. So like a Chaos Warrior on foot with a shield, oh my gosh, they die so fast to wagons. Hawklands, artillery rockets, ah yeah. You remember trying Tzeentch Soul Grinder against war wagons? It went bad? Yeah, it's because the Soul Grinder sucks. Soul Grind is not a unit that you should run as Tzeentch. In many situations, it doesn't cook very well. Because it pays for itself, but slowly, right? So if you think about it, a unit that pays for its cost over the course of the battle and does nothing else, that means literally the moment you summon it in, you are behind until the end of the game, and then you're even. That is a sign of a bad unit. If it can control space, though, maybe a bit better. But I've actually been able to kill Tzeentch Soul Grinders with war wagons before. It's kind of sad. Bilbo Baggins and Lemur's Bane are still fighting. The winner has the chance to get into tiebreakers, so it's kind of important. Are we describing Soul Grinders, War Wagons, or Scourge Runner Chariots? War Wagons will get more than their value in cost, because they are a really good zoning tool and they can capture points. If the Tzeentch Soul Grinder costs $8.75 and it also had 60 speed and move and shoot, I'd run it. All right, I'd totally run a Tzeentch Soul Grinder if it could do that. But instead, the Tzeentch Soul Grinder is so expensive and slow. It's basically an artillery piece. You take Foe Seeker for the vigor buff or for the speed? It's gotta be both. I think if you only take it for one, it's not that worth. It's a pretty nice vigor buff though. 25% vigor. It was not bad. Yo, Bilbo and Lizardmen are taking ages, man. Ages. When did this round start? Let me check. This round started at 2:40. It started at 2:40. It is 3:25. They've been at it for 55 minutes? That's insane. Alright, if they don't respond to me, I'm gonna... There's no way it takes you 55 minutes to play one game of domination. I'm just gonna get started. Okay, at Goblins, Tiebreakers. They also both haven't messaged me back yet. If they message within 5 minutes of me announcing Tiebreakers, I'll give them the okay. Oh wait, no, not 55, 45 minutes. Never mind. It's not as bad. 47 minutes. Okay, that's a little bit better then. Math. My bad. Stream math, always the riskiest. I can accept 50 minutes. The tournament rules do say that 40 minutes is what is expected. I'm just gonna set up the tiebreakers now. And then if they message me back, then we'll get going. But I don't even know if they just like both left or something. They haven't messaged me. So let's refresh. And let's get at least a couple of these going. All right. Let's see here. Winner of at Bilbo and at Lemurs will be assigned opponent if you finish in the next 8 minutes. All right. Actually, I'll make it 5 minutes because I think by the time I get this message out, that should be it. All right. So, oh, thank goodness. Okay, they finally messaged. They had unholy lag. God dang. Oh my gosh. All right. Please report score. Okay, they made it. They made it before the 50-minute mark. It's fine. I don't have to worry about it too much. I have speaking ill of them when I should not have. 45 minutes is reasonable. 55 would have been insane. All right. I just need them to report the score, and then we'll get ease. Come on, come on. There we go. Finally. Jeez. Okay, tiebreakers. It's time. So, what are we looking at? We had a few drops. Sterngard and Martin both dropped. Okay. So, at Leech Lord versus left is top bracket. So it's Leech Lord versus, let's see, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, dang, there's so many people here. I gotta thin them out. Let's see here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people. Okay, so we can call most of them. At Leech Lord versus Authenticity. Oh wait, no, 2 of them are already gone. So it's actually 7 people. So that means there's only 6 that need to be played. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stern and Martin are gone. If there's 7 people. Okay, so it should be Leech Lord versus me. Authenticity. And then it's at Attack Speed Enjoyer versus at Lemur's Bane. And then it's at Dan Ican versus at Scarbrand Chan. Just double check. Lemur's Bane. Indeed, they did win 3 times. Okay. At Maximillionaire, stand by. Alright. There we go. We did win 4, but just because of how it usually pans out, it will, this is how it works. Martin and Stern dropped. Alright. Alright, we're good. Let's finally get into this match. Yo, yo. We're in tiebreakers. Tiebreaker time. You better make me not play tiebreakers. Hey, I also got 4 wins. You had more opponent points than me, though. Alright, here we go. Sometimes you gotta get that extra win, though. It's just kind of how the format works. So we're up against Leech Lord. I'm Empire. And my opponent's faction appears to be... Where is it at? At Leech Lord. Chaos Dwarfs. Ooh, alright. That's pretty fun. Maximillionaire dodging the tiebreakers. But you get to play more Warhammer if you get into tiebreakers. Yeah, it's a tryhard tourney. 4-0, man. We've been doing well. Chaos Dwarfs. Do I have a preset build versus them? I don't. Ooh, this will be a fun time to workshop something. Chaos Dwarves are pretty straightforward to beat. All you really need is an artillery piece. Excuse me. And then enough to fight their cavalry. They do have an answer to kill off wagons, but it's only their artillery that can do that. Okay, yeah, let's see if we can do this. We're in tiebreakers. So many signups. Usually the tiebreakers are not this intense. Is Empire your favorite faction? It's up there. I think Slaanesh is one of the best though. Plague of Rust? Plague of Rust is only okay in my eyes. Oh, for trains though. Ah, yes, that's true. You usually want some single entities. You can also shoot them up, though. So, Chowie. I think you need at least 2 cannons if you're playing against Chaos Dwarfs. In case they go ultra artillery heavy. Cannons can kill trains really well. Wagons can kill trains really well. Empire Engineer. Does he kill trains very well? Does he kill trains very well? I don't know, man. Is Chaos Dwarfs just a faction you can run wagons against? Or are the Death Streak rockets a little too scary? I know you can play keep away. It's impossible for them to rush you. I don't think Chaos Dwarfs have ever pulled off a successful strong rush build. More null Ironsides. They can dodge the artillery better. 7 great cannons. Let's see here. Yes. The Master Engineer on a steam tank will have... Oh no, but the block chance doesn't work against Chaos Dwarf artillery, does it? Black Lions with restock and reserve. I don't know what that does though. 1 grenade launcher. I'm just always running 1 grenade launcher from here on out. Okay, what am I doing though? What am I doing with these engineers? The engineers are so good. But I don't think I should take that many. They're a good solution to the bull centaurs, though. Bull centaurs will not survive versus engineers and war wagons. Click on the Nolan flag and go all cavalry. Cav Max and Chaos Dwarfs is always hilarious. It's a really neat way to just full shut down their artillery at the beginning of the game. It's a risky play, though. Sometimes they're ready for it. And I don't think Empire has a good enough rush to actually win it. Imagine if you could get campaign grenade launcher ROR in multiplayer. What do they have exactly? I know they're really good. Amethyst Outriders. I think it's these guys. What do they have compared to normal grenade launchers? 1,000 more HP and armor piercing grenades. Dude, the grenades already kill Graveguard. That's insane. 1 million Outriders. That would be kind of terrifying for dwarves. Although, yeah, they will have their annoying shenanigans. Artillery barrages. I think long rifles. You can't go long. You can't go long. Can't go wrong with long rifles. I think that's more than enough ranged. I just don't really know what the melee core looks like. Do you need a melee core? Can Outriders dodge Chaos Dwarf artillery? Some of the artillery, yes. Others, not really. He's also not really responded to me yet. A lot of people are not used to my 3-win tiebreaker rule. So they just don't really respond sometimes. It's understandable. They leave a fire AoE too with the amethyst grenade launchers. Jeez. Alright. Amber Spear for no balls. Dude, Amber Spear is fun, but I still haven't really been able to figure it out properly. Looks like my opponent has to go too. Fine by me. We did get 4 wins. All right. And yeah, okay. We're goodies. So he's dropping out, which means I can theory craft this Chaos Dwarf build with you guys. All right, how do we cook? I have the basics. Bull centaurs in theory die to these guys. Same with Kadai and artillery with my counter battery. Gelt with final transmutation and plague of rust to handle more or less everything. These guys have restock, so I'll never run out of ammunition. The only problem I see is if he can somehow defend his trains from my cannons. Like defend his artillery. And then shoot these things to death. I think that's how we lose. So I'm thinking like maybe I can use some stealth units to capture points. Anyone know if Freak Company Militia are good against Chaos Dwarfs? I feel like Free Company Militia might not be the worst. I'm out of range units though, but like just an early capture, right? Or maybe maybe some huntsmen. Huntsmen are loose formation, so like if he does go super artillery defended, yeah, defended artillery heavy, I can have some huntsmen in there. What do you guys think? Free Company Militia or Huntsman? The rest of my lines, I don't really know what I'm supposed to do. Like, I'm basically forcing him to rush me, right? The silver bullets. What do they do? Kind of out of ranged slots. Do I not need more than one cannon? I guess I might not need it. Oh, silver bullets are also stealth. That's true. And they can shoot trains, right? So, like, slam in the silver bullets. How bad of a rush can they go for? I think I'll go for both. Because these guys can ambush trains. So lots of ranged, right? There's no way dwarves can just rush me. I guess, technically, they could spam Chaos Dwarf warriors, but even they die to Hawkland long rifles. They don't have miners. So it's just way harder. Like, they don't have miners or slayers. Those are the big things that make dwarves good into Empire. Chaos Dwarfs don't have that. They just have the cavalry. I could take a Royal Altdorf Graphite. I could take, you know, a Knight of the Black Rose is not the worst here. It's a little expensive, but it fits so well. It's also anti-infantry, which they might have a lot of. I think infantry is the thing I'm worried the most about. So it's could die. Maybe they'll have some guns, but they lose to long rifles. So it's all about protecting the long rifles. I could just bring a bunch of spears. It's either I bring a bunch of spears or I bring the Royal Altdorf Graphites. Or both. No, I can't bring both. What do you guys think? Spears will be better versus cavalry. This will be better versus trains. I think some people would be worried about my defenses versus trains here. I think Royal Altdorf Graphites is not the worst. I think this is a weird one. It's a weird one, but I'm willing to give it a go. Okay, so I can advance the top 4. Finalize this tournament. Go over here. Check out the top 4. And what are we looking at? Oh, I'm up against Maximillionaire. All right. Maxi. We're up in top 4. Announcement tourney. Winner of... So what's it? Yeah. Attack. Speed Enjoyer versus at Lemur's Bane faces winner of at Danican versus at Scarbrand Chan in semis. Let me know who wins, who makes it to semis, so I can set players. There we go. Drop a link to the top 4, and then we're good. It's Vampire Coast vs. Empire. That's a rough one. That's a real rough one. Vampire Coast vs. Empire. It's Maximillionaire. He's a strong player. I'll ban Itza. At the very least, I'm pretty ready for him. I even already have a preset build, so what's the worst that can happen? What is the worst? Let's see here. Really? This is my preset build? Looks kinda janky to me. This is really my preset build, isn't it? Interesting. Why do I have this? Because he wants playing Decrepit more. Why do I have this ability? What's going on here? Yeah, I don't like half of where this build is going. Okay, let me get rid of that for starters. Get rid of that fool. Put this guy in. And then I can take this. Okay, already things are looking a little bit more clean with this build. So I have that. Ooh. Ooh, do I want to run a grenade launcher here? Grenade launcher has to be pretty good, right? I guess they will suffer versus zombie pistols, but they gotta be good. They gotta be. Okay, how do I kill fell bats? I guess I have a few options. None of them all too great. I can take one of these guys. Alright. Sure. Okay, this feels like a slightly more refined Empire build. Let's lock it in. Infinite doggo spam incoming. Maximilian really likes the infinite doggo spam. And a little bit of Moringal action. Vampire Coast have also run Depth Guard into me. Between the Depth Guard and the Sirens, it's all very annoying. The answer is more grenade launchers. You know, if he doesn't have an answer to grenade launchers, insta win. If he doesn't bring enough long-range guns to defend his lines. So he's very likely going to have mortars, right? And what else? Wait, why do I even have this? Yo, I don't need... What am I doing? Why do I have Crush the Weak on Boris here? I do think I need Boris to kill off like a Silostra or something. But he should not have Crush the Weak. Not against... Not against Vampire Coast. It's, that is not a thing. That is very much needed. What's the best way to kill fell bats? How do I spend the money? Okay, this feels a little bit better. Alright. Empire versus Vampire Coast. We'll save it. We're locking in. Fingers crossed I don't lose to Vampire Coast. It'd be very embarrassing. Yeah, he really likes Silver Chevron mortars. That's like his most favorite thing ever. If I overcast Burning Head on them, they typically live, unlike normal crews, because they don't unman it, because they don't route, and the chevrons will make it even harder. Second Burning Head tends to kill them though. It'll get them to the crumble zone. You selected Crush the Weak. No, this was a save build that I had Crush the Weak on for some reason. Alright, so the glorious Empire Mantide is here. The idea is simple. He can't really get a lot of workings on me if I just sit back, relax, and shoot him up. I will have to spread these guys out just a little bit so that it's easier to dodge mortars with them. And if he decides to go for mortars, I'm going to not rush to my death. Most artillery-centric builds, you can play around by just dancing and dodging shots forever. There they are. Silver Chevron mortars. Okay, in this case, in this particular case, I might want to rush them. That is such an absurd amount of artillery. Even so, he has a bunch of these zombie pirates. So you went for carronades? Okay. All right there. Holy moly. What a terrifying onslaught of artillery. This is probably the most artillery I've seen. So instead of backing off from the mortars, he's doubled down. Boris, at the very least, is safe to fly about and cause him issues. And the carronades are not a big problem. I can basically ignore them. Spreading out my archers to do so. Bringing in many a huntsman. Because if we just outrange them, we'll be okay. In theory, it takes the carronades ages to pay for themselves. So I'm going to focus fire the mortars instead. We're going to dodge that first volley by doing a little bit of a pullback maneuver. Cavalry's got to keep away from them carronades. Horus, of course. He's a beast. Did he pull them back? He did. Really doesn't want them to eat a burning head. Alright, so that should be a pretty good one. That's a pretty good one. There we go. We'll pull back. Make it easier to dodge. And then I gotta evac from those night terrors immediately. Night terrors will absolutely run down Boris if you're not careful. I've done it before, and it was very sad for my opponent. That burning head, yeah, dude, those mortars are crumbling. It's brutal. Though, night terrors are in. Yeah, you see how much they can chase Boris? It's very sus. Anyways, as long as I back up, I should be fine. Force him into a bad position. He doesn't have any pistol mobs here, so with the help of my outriders and such, and these huntsmen, I think Boris actually kills these guys. One more burning head to kill these should be fine for me. Here come the huntsmen. This is a great thing about huntsmen, right? If it's unexpected, they can get so much work in. Boris is certainly not looking too happy, though. Though the outriders, they get a decent amount of damage. Boris even knocks over one of them. Nice. That will hopefully give him an opportunity here to pull back to safety. Should be another decent burning head. I can't afford to lose Boris, though. We will probably have to sack some cavalry to save his butt. Night terrors, man. Can I right-click him? There we go. So Boris should live. And this is where we bring in the grenades. These guys are summons, so I'm not worried about them. There we go. Night terrors are taking the deeps. It's a pretty good burning head, too. All things considered. We're playing it safe. We're not overextending. This is everything we could possibly want to make sure that we don't die here. Those are summons, but I guess we might as well get them crumbling. Night terrors are looking pretty bad. And look at them grenade launchers, man. Grenade launchers are cooking. Boris is safe, too. He's doing fine. And I can chuck another burning head down the pipe soon enough. Looking pretty bad for the Force of the Vampire Coast. He did get a pretty good Boris catch, though. I'll give him that. And the huntsmen are also kind of suffering. Can I get another burning head, though? Just the mere presence of this wizard is making him a little sussed out. Can, yeah, you know, I'll just chuck a burning head on those mortars. I think that'll be able to get them to crumbling, which is all I care about, really. Looks like he's trying to move on up here, but he's just gonna get wrecked by huntsmen. He has a lot of crabos, I'll give him that. And the cannons are actually landing a couple hits, which I do not appreciate in the slightest. Gotta be careful around him. Gotta minimize damage. So there he goes, moving on up. This is where we bring back the infantry. We're going to bring in Tattersouls. I should be able to brutalize that artillery piece over there. Is gonna summon right on top of me. Oof. Hopefully we can get a disengage without too many losses. Might be able to shoot these guys up. Oh, Boris, be careful there. I did not mean to full engage. No night terrors though, so he's fine. Ah, doggos. Doggos have arrived. Naturally, we counter them with our cavalry. As long as Boris lives, everything's okay. We've really gotten him to force, you know, to hunker down on this position, right? That's hurting him a great deal. Very nice. And of course, we've damaged his artillery quite a bit, just with ongoing burning heads. This is the big downside of going for artillery in domination mode. So let's go and kill the doggos. The wizard, he's coming in hot. He wants to roast a toasty. It's a little sus though. That should be a good one. Run. All right. There we go. Nice. Very nice. He's also pulled his crabs away. They should be able to do well. Oh, night terrors. Whoopsie daisies. I gotta make sure I don't run out of dudes here. Ouch. Oh, jeez. Okay, cannons were painful. Cannons were very painful. Boris on the verge of routing. That's not pretty. Let's pull him back. Let's keep dodging. Jeez. All right. Oh yeah, I have the Sunmaker. I probably should have Sunmakered him sooner, but whoopsie daisies. Sometimes you make a misplay. Okay, Boris is on retirement now. I should be able to start shooting his front line with my archers because his cannons are just not really doing much. There we go. Let's go here. And then at some point I'll make the Sunmaker, though he's probably just gonna rush me, right? I think he has great incentive to just rush me. There we go. Damage is pretty good. We've crumbled away one of his little halberd dudes. He's starting to spam gunnery mobs. Okay. Can he deal with the Sunmaker, though? He doesn't have any bombers here. Just a couple Mournguls, right? And I'll have another burning head soon enough. Boris lives. The most important thing, Boris is indeed alive. I gotta make sure I don't sack all my cavalry. If we do, we're screwed. Alright, here we go. I can use my archers to kill off some of his stuff there. Very nice. I think I will save up for a Sunmaker too. But yeah, we're just gonna give him a big push in. I don't want to run out of units to summon either. That would be very unfortunate. Seems like most of the archers though are doing great. Gets a couple more in goals, not a big deal. That's a pendulum. Can we get that dodge? Oh, it's a Wind of Death on the archers. Crazy. It's pretty good Wind of Death too. Well played to Maxi. That's a good burning head though. Grenade launchers is still crushing it. He's running out of artillery pieces. He did get a really good burning head though. I mean, a really good Wind of Death. Still though, many of his forces are crumbling. And I have a random Sunmaker now. I should have summoned the Sunmaker way earlier. That was a misplay for me. I also feel like I was maybe a bit too aggressive here. I did not really need to commit to this fight. I think it was a little bit needless. Getting a little antsy. Okay, let's keep him alive. No sirens though is a plus. Okay, there we go. He's still spamming units from this direction. No doggos yet. But Depth Guard have broken through. The Depth Guard are through. Let's pull back, give him the kite. Depth Guard getting kited is pretty brutal. Doggos on top of me though. See how it goes. Can he actually recapture is the big question, right? He's not on the way to actually securing any of these points, but I don't know. I don't know, man. How's Boris doing? Boris is doing okay. Sunmaker. Yeah, I should have summoned the Sunmaker way sooner because it could have battered his position really badly early on. That was just a big fat misplay for me. It might have even cost me the game, we'll see. At least most of his artillery is going down, and of course the Sunmaker is just a brutal unit against him. He does rout the Boris though. Impressive, impressive. But I'm almost at the point where I win on a single cap. And he doesn't have a whole lot here that can do things against that. Those doggos will hopefully die. Boris will definitely rally. Okay. I'll be able to kill off that mortar over there. Alrighty, alrighty. Trading wise, though. Trading wise is actually kind of sus. I should not have attacked so soon. What a misplay. What a misplay. Oh my goodness. Alright, let's see what we can get done. So Sunmaker's doing good. Flagellants have killed off the remnants of his artillery. And his range should go down very soon too. Boris is successfully killing off the depth guard. And I have a lot of ranged. We have a lot of ranged. There you go. So those depth guards should just be dead. In theory, they should just be dead. I have a lot of archers. I'm gonna have to de-summon the Sunmaker though. Most likely. Or just summon some Outriders so they can clear them up pretty well. And there we go. A couple Outriders. Just to clean up shop. Home point is looking relatively safe and secure. I do have a burning head for these pistols and such. That's not a big deal. So he's gonna have to double cap me. However, this point looking a little sus. Just a wee bit, right? Yeah, he's actually going to secure it. Alright. Alrighty there. Boris is gonna have to pull back. Sunmaker can keep getting value though. And I do have more archers I can bring on in. So he's probably not gonna capture this point. But he might. Which is a big old fat misplay for me. Hey, at least the Flagellants are doing great. Alright, let's just hold this point for 2 minutes. I was way too aggressive. What was I thinking? He even has Crabos here. Which makes this way more sus than it needs to be. Alright, come on. Just don't let him capture it and we're fine. Boris can come back here. I have my Outriders. If I kill off the depth guard, it'll be okay. Sunmaker will be brutalizing his depth guard too. Reducing their leadership. A very close match indeed. Mostly because I think I made a terrible mistake. But with so many range units left, it will be hard for him to actually get back onto this point. And still actually shut down all my mass ranged. You can see with my range units rallying, it really makes life a lot more difficult for him. Man, it should not have been this close though. Alright, Outriders, let's get in there. These ones I can de-summon to get grenade launchers on that far side. And then if I really need to, I can retake this point, but I shouldn't need to. Magic is gone though. The magic is empty. He's gonna try and capture it with the rotting Prometheans. I'll use my Empire Knights to stop his zombies at least. Rotting Prometheans are terrifying. Though they do go down to enough shooting. Alright, there we go. God, way too close for comfort. Huntsman can kill these crabs though. Huntsman absolutely kill the crabs. That's not a big deal. I don't think he's gonna capture this point. Thank goodness. Jeez. Oh my gosh. Alright. He rear charges my boys. The Night Terrors are actually still alive against all odds. Dang. Alright. At least these guys are all crumbling. So let's start summoning in ranged here to beat them up. And take them out. Just in case I lose this point. You never know. You never know when you're just gonna throw the game to some horrible misplay. Spamming out a million range units here will definitely be able to solve the situation. Still have to hold for 40 seconds. My goodness. Thankfully, the point is being held. We have enough capture weight. Once the doggos are down, he'll really be suffering. Looks like Boris is doing well versus the Crabos. Nice. All right. 20 seconds is all I need. Crabos will be down soon. I even got some knights back. Oh, got a lot of infantry back. All right. And yeah, he's not gonna be able to capture it. Woo! Hoo-wee! Kinda spooky. Good A launchers for capture weight. Great success. All right.
Unending glory is yours.
Yeah, I should have just summoned the Sunmaker. It outranges cannons. What was I thinking? Sunmaker literally would have insta won the game, but I decided to do it the hard way. Thankfully, the matchup is super favored for Empire. Like, you saw how much value it got, right? Like, it's just... Sunmaker's insane. Jeez. No minus 16, you've changed. Yep. So Danican won. Do you know who your opponent is? Question mark. Let's see here. Okay. I'll message him. Have you started? If not, I'll cast. Oops. Lobby code, please. All right. Nice. GG. Well played, Maximillionaire. I think he played it as well as a Vampire Coast could against such terrible odds. So, yeah. He played it well. I think he played it real well. It was just a rough situation. I just gotta remember to summon the Sunmaker next time. My goodness. So sus. It's good for drama. Drawing for content, the classic. Alright, so Danican has a lobby code. Hell yeah. Turin streaming today? Ooh, alright, maybe I'll play that. Maybe I'll play in that tournament. I said it'd be a short stream, but like, come on, it's turn. Okay, grenade launchers didn't do that great. Outriders actually got more because crabs and the resummons. His mortars didn't pay for themselves. His cannons did, but yeah. I just did really good damage prevention on them. It was my rush that did me in. That made me take way more damage than I should have. 300 Valley Death Guard rip. Alright, here we go. Alright. So we're spectating. It's Danican versus Attack Speed Enjoyer. Winner faces me. I must feed off of the Turin tournaments. Yo, is he, where is it at? I don't see his tournament posted yet. Let me see this. Oh no, he's streaming. He's streaming, he's not hosting. Dang it, he's streaming Dawn of War Remaster. What a ripoff. What a ripoff. Never mind. Alright. Early weekend then. Early weekend. Yeah, Maximillionaire, you almost routed Boris. Although I will say, I did forget to summon the Sunmaker. Did you have a solution to the Sunmaker if I brought it in? Because I totally forgot I had it. And I'm pretty sure it outranges your cannons. Though, definitely, you almost had me there. I think the Boris getting caught and the and me rushing in and you exploiting that was real sus. Yo, Wood Elves versus Nurgle. Danican still learning Nurgle? What a mad lad, man. Guy really likes Nurgle. Your solution was to face tank? I see. I could see you dodging it at max range, potentially. And then we just kind of sit there and build up. But yeah, I did have 4 Empire Knights for your 4 doggos. Everyone loves Nurgle. Nurgle loves everyone. Now, I don't have to tell you guys that Nurgle versus Wood Elves is a bad matchup, right? I think we've all been there. This is attack speed enjoyer. He likes Wood Elves. Let's see what crazy build Daniken has to win. Okay, it's a standard armor max. Sometimes a standard is good enough to punch through. Because look at this. Daniken is facing only 1 unit of armor-piercing archers. That's it. Does Empire have a better chance versus Wood Elves and Nurgle? I think I'd rather face Nurgle. I think most people would rather face Nurgle. It's Nurgle. How many times do I gotta tell you guys? I'm sorry. I'm the only Nurgle hater. What's become of me? It's because I like Slaanesh, okay? Slaanesh told me to say it. If you had 5 bloated corpses. I can't believe I lost to bloated corpses. Okay, Chaos Sorcerer, Lord of Death, Purple Sun. Otherwise, it's maximum armor, okay? The guy loves... Okay, he doesn't actually love armor max. It's just probably what he feels like he has to do. It's an armor check, alright? Can the Wood Elves do enough damage to army wipe this force before the end of the battle? They have what? A single Arrows of Kurnos caster. Hawkish Precision is an interesting one. Sure. Sisters of Twilight on a dragon, that helps. Soporific Breath. It should give -5 melee attack. Or melee stats. Eagle Quiver is pretty fun. Does this guy have healing? He does. So he's not gonna Lord sniped. Interesting to see the life leeching. I wonder if that gives you just enough magic for another Purple Sun. When you only bring 1 expensive spell, sometimes you're left with like 15 winds of magic left and life sucks. So what are we looking at? Conjoined Destiny. That's probably not going to trigger. I don't think he's going to try and snipe the Sisters of Twilight. And yes, Melkoths. The standard. Everybody loves Melkoths. Now, the battle begins. And Daniken, he just has to advance, right? Or maybe not. Okay, yeah, he's just advanced. He was taking stock of the situation. It can be risky to advance too early. Sometimes you don't want to get the fight started early. So he is going to push forwards and pray to the chaos gods above or below, wherever they may be, that he has enough armor to survive. Now, Blade Guard have a decent amount of armor piercing compared to other archers in the game. They have 4 AP instead of the usual 1 that like your Bretonnian peasants will have. Breath attack on moving armor doesn't do as much damage as it could. Arrows of Kurnos kind of whiffs on the Chosen. He focuses 1 Chosen with the arrows, but I think he misses the other Chosen. There was a second Chosen, right? God, it's hard to tell. Yeah, the hidden. It's so hard to see. It's so hard to distinguish between Chosen and normal Chaos Warriors. But they're both on the right side. They have slightly fewer entities, I think. So you can kind of tell it that way. The Marauders of Nurgle are here just to buffer against the Wild Riders while the rest of his army pushes in. But he needs a triple cap, right? Either that, or he actually intends to kill the entire Wood Elf army. Not impossible. These guys are not slower, right? So just treat them like Chaos Warriors and you're good. Captures point number 1. Gets a Purple Sun on the retreating Glade Guard. Deletes them. Then not the armor piercing variant, though. Armor piercing variant is over here on the left side. So they could potentially focus fire these Chaos Warriors. Over here, the Marauders get routed, but they will rally. And Chaos Knight Lances are very good versus Wild Riders. They're not super slow, although poison, they're only 60 speed. But they poison you back. 77 speed on the Wild Riders. Though they're not taking hits, so they actually regain their speed. Kind of sad for Nurgle. Over on the flank, Warhound surround on the Waystalker. He found him. Probably by tracking where the arrows of Kurnos are coming from. Really nice play from Daniken. This is the mega value grab on a guy that's only used 1 arrows. If he can prevent even a couple arrows of Kurnos, he's happy. And Wild Riders are continuing to run into Chaos Warriors. Now, the damage is not bad for the Wild Riders. In a long grind, it can get a little rough. Starting to take damage already. But the Glade Guard will be able to shoot into their backs, and that's a pretty nice pick. Marauders get routed too, and Starfire Shafts are looking pretty safe. Doggos are now getting shot up too, which is very bad for them. But a Fury Summon is a good answer to this. A little late though, right? Doggos will probably get routed off now. The Chaos Lord is going for the Caster. A high priority pickings that is kind of optimal for him. The Doggo's even got a pick here. Unfortunately for him though, the Chaos Knights are getting brutalized. Sisters of Twilight are having their way with them. But as you can see, Nurgle's kind of trading evenly. The only downside is that they optimized for the big rush down. They didn't really optimize for anything else, right? They're not getting a lot of tickets. So even though the trading is mild, he's down 1,000 gold for 100 tickets. Most players would not take that, right? You don't want to lose an entire unit of Marauder champions for 100 tickets. That's generally thought of to be a bad play. So he's gonna have to pull it back more. Of course, Value Tracker can't really be trusted. Furies dive on in. Very good versus Wild Riders because they have magic attacks. Bypassing the physical resist of these guys, making them awfully squishy. More Furies get summoned in, and it looks like Daniken is really opting for that trading type of play. He just wants to up trade, and with Chosen on Wild Rider action, that's looking pretty good. Chaos Warriors are continuing to chase the Glade Guard. They'll take forever to take out. And these ones on the hill, they're eventually gonna get cornered once they get to here. Though the distraction will be quite nice for the Wood Elves. They will die eventually. More Glade Guard over here occupied, but the right flank is looking kind of sus. Huge Purple Sun though annihilates 1 Wild Rider unit. I think Daniken's making a lot of good plays and catching out a lot of attack speed in Jorya's units. I'd love to see him win. I want to fight Nurgle, not Wood Elves. And look at this. Chaos Sorcerer Lord getting some good fights, but oh no, actually a misplay. Getting surrounded by the Wild Riders. A little too busy trying to kill the Spellsinger. He did just cast Purple Sun too. It only has a 54-second cooldown, however. So there's reason to believe that he might get it back before he dies. Sisters of Twilight don't have time to kill him either. So potentially a nice situation there as Furies dive the Glade Guard. The Chaos Warriors catch these ones. A little bit of a lapse in micro there. Running out of space on this end. It looks like the Chaos Warrior push has successfully shut down all the Glade Guard. These guys, I don't know what they're doing. The attack order is kind of janking. Oh no. Oh no, what are they doing? They gotta touch base first before they go there. They just don't want to engage for some reason. Weird AI maneuver jank. You'll love to see it. And another Chaos Knight gets summoned in. Now this is the big playmaker, right? These guys in theory kill everything here, but an Overcast Malkoth with extra range doesn't do more damage, but he is spell amping by being in the forest with the Blessing of the Ancients. Takes a quarter HP off of these guys. 1,000 value already on the Spellsinger, but they don't care. These are Chaos Knights of Nurgle. Maybe they do care a little bit. Arrows of Kurnos and the Hawkeyes, the Eagle Quiver. Kinda wrecked them. Okay, never mind. Yeah, they got deleted by that. That was a brutal loss. Curse of the Slug on Zotes though. We know Zotes are not the best fighters. Don't count on them to win any cavalry engagements. The Chaos Warriors have won the backline fight. They are stuck in enemy lines though. It will take them a while to get back home. But that is a good amount of value for Nurgle. Alright, once you can reclaim these warriors, there's not a lot of shooting that can kill them. And they can potentially hunker down on points. Value trading's close enough where it could still be anyone's game. But he decides to send the Furies onto the Zotes. These are magic damage wild hunters. Is he asking for them to get charged? No, it was a bait. The Fury switched targets, going onto the wild hunters, doing the dog switch, no charge, and oh my gosh, what a sick maneuver from Daniken. Holy moly. Oh my gosh, a massive surround with the pull-in. Countered by Flesh to Stone, but the Purple Sun drops and oh my goodness. the Wild Hunters get absolutely deleted. Now, that's a very expensive unit for the Wood Elves, but he did lose a unit of Furies for that, and he did have to cast Purple Sun. It's not the prettiest trade in the world, but I think he's happy that his opponent is down a very elite armor-piercing cavalry unit. That's about as good as you can get when it comes to Nurgle. The elf manity. But he is being triple capped. The players have swapped positions. You might think this is Danican's spawn zone, but it is not. Somehow, some way, the Glade Guard have actually won against the Chosen. I don't know exactly what happened. And it looks like that was Danican's last play. I think he played it about as well as he could have. In impossible circumstances, he caught like all of the range units. Maybe he could have cav maxed it. I think a cav max might have done well, but there was Melkoths, right? Melkoth spam is just brutal against cav maxing. Maybe you could dog max it. They don't have that many dogs. Might feel like an early tap out, but he was gonna die to this. This was a Twilight. He had no answer to them. And being triple capped, giving the Wood Elves that much time, right? He's never gonna uptrade. It makes sense. Arrows of Kurnos, mega value. GG. Danican is out. That means it's attack speed enjoyer versus me. It's attack speed enjoyer versus me. Attack speed enjoyer. Yo yo. I'm Empire. He left the lobby. I was joining your lobby, man. For the grand finals, it's time. Attack speed versus Danican. All right. So, can we defeat him? Can we defeat the Wood Elves? It's a matchup that I have been kind of struggling against. I don't really know what I'm supposed to do here. Wood Elves just have so much oomph. They have a lot of really good cavalry. Attack speed enjoyer has 4 tournament wins. He'll go up to 5, which will bring him very high up in the bracket. So let's see what can be done in this grand finals of this humble tournament. There were actually a lot of signups today. It was crazy. So I do have a pre-save build. This is what I want, though. I know his playstyle. He likes Mantine. But the biggest problem is that his cavalry uptrade into my cavalry very well. So let's see. Let us see. He's top bracket. Dried Floodplain, Norscan Rise, Altar of the Champion. None of these are great maps for me. Dried, yeah, they all have trees. Except for maybe Norscan Rise. But I don't really fancy that map too much. Mortar Wagons. Nah, dude, they died to Arrows of Kurnos. Everything dies to Arrows of Kurnos. Although he can only have 1, the limitation holds him back a little bit. I don't think Steam Tank really does that much, though. Steam Tank kind of janky. He bans Altar. Let's play Rise. All right. Well, I have a preset build. So, I guess we'll just see if it cooks hard enough. I've been theory crafting some Empire versus Wood Elf shenaniganry. The shooting is very annoying. I actually feel like I should change this a little bit, but actually, yeah, maybe I will change it just a smidge. Just a smidge. Do I get Outrider grenade launchers? Just always one rogue outrider grenade launcher. Against Wood Elves. Technically very good versus Dryads though. That might actually be a really fun little extra pick there. Alright, Empire versus Wood Elves. Let's save it. This is not second guessing. This is things that I have learned playing Empire. That'll hopefully help me out here. Watching me at 2 a.m. at night? Oh, dang. Luminarch. Luminarch also dies to Arrows of Kurnos. Everything dies to Arrows of Kurnos. I just... Don't bring anything expensive versus Wood Elves, or it will be Arrows of Kurnos. Max long rifles. So, long rifles are really susceptible to getting just straight murdered. If he has a Melkoth's caster, he'll spam it. There's some stealth tech you can do to rush him down. It's very painful. Danican bringing Nurgle to the semifinals, though. He even won the tiebreaker. It's impressive. Danican is... He's gonna make him work one way or the other. But if he's armor maxing versus Wood Elves, it means he might be out of ideas. Or maybe he's just trying to play them standard. I don't know. This Kurnos guy sounds dangerous. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Blazing Sun Cavalry Magic Resist is worth. So they're more expensive though, right? So they resist more damage, but your opponent's happy to cast it on them anyways, because it costs like almost 400 gold more than normal Empire Knights. My goodness. They are pricey. Though they do actually have a decent fight into Wild Riders. Like they'll tussle, I guess. Oh, I'm terrified. Spearman only sounds like Tryharding. I never said I'd be Spearman only. Though every build I've run today has like at least 8 spears. What's he gonna do though? He's gonna have Dryads. He's obviously gonna have Dryads, right? You're gonna have 5 extra Dryads. Though Knights of the Blazing Sun have fire damage. Fire damage for days. Is that the answer? God, I really don't like this matchup. This will be really good practice though. If I can learn how to play Empire versus Wood Elves, it will genuinely make Empire one of my more fearsome factions in the tournament, where I can either play Slaanesh or Empire into basically anything and do well. I think I have it pretty down pat for most factions in the game. There's a few that I still haven't really tested against though, like greenskins, but nobody plays greenskins, it's fine. Hellstorm Rocket Battery and D-Summon, that's the standard good one. My opponent has to get in range though. And if he Arrows of Kurnos is it, guess who's a sad person? It's me. Just don't get shot. Can you beat a Warhammer tournament without getting shot? Everybody has to play vampire accounts. Alright. Let's take a look-see. Oh, jeez, I need water. 1 second. All right, grand finals. Pretty standard fare, right? A lot of range units. If he's cav maxing me, that would be real bad, but I think I can get my units together in time if he's cav maxing me. I'm gonna hang away from that forest over there. And what we're going to do is we're gonna try and make a sick initial play. So he's gonna think my huntsmen are here, right? I can actually make it even more look like my huntsmen are in my spears. This is full mind games, okay? Now I don't want to have to always win by mind games, but this will be a good start. So I need to make it look like there's like 5 huntsmen in here. So that means we actually need to space them out just a little bit more, right? And just have like a conspicuous empty spot. He's gonna be like, okay, yeah, obviously the huntsmen are here, right? Whoop-de-doo, right? He just wants them not as an actual fighting unit, but as a, you know, as a little stealth squad, right? And then we hunter snare him, right? We hunter snare him. And then we rip his face apart. It'll be glorious. As long as he doesn't have too much cavalry here. He should want to put some cav there though. 15 units. 5, 5, 4. This is 5. Okay, he doesn't have too many skirmishers. That's a good sign. Run! Run! Crap. You know, honestly, him eating an arrows of Kurnos is fine. I can live with that. Okay, here we go. So just gonna chill here. We're gonna get our huntsman over here. All right, they're just gonna chill. Some 5D chest plays. You know what? I actually want him to arrows of Kurnos, this guy again. Funnily enough, I kind of want him to do it again. So I can summon the Sunmaker. The moment it shoots out, I'm gonna summon the Sunmaker. I'm gonna play stupid with this Bright Wizard, okay? He's asking to be murdered. Come on, man. I know you want to contest this. I know you have to. You have to. You'd be insane not to. Come on. Come on, man. Look at how exposed they are. They're so exposed. You gotta want to. Yo, he's actually really pushing up, isn't he? Well, at least this will be a good volley on the Glade Guard. Okay, yeah, so he's just letting them chill. All right. So just gonna get a volley and pull back so that he can't shoot me back. Whew.
We have a victory.
Take the high ground.
Keep it from the foe.
Yeah, that's the plan. He's pushing up awfully aggressively. Come on, I know Arrows of Kurnos is coming off cooldown soon. I know you want to. I know you want to. Ah, hell yeah, Dryads have arrived. Dryads are here. Oh my god, wait, no, the bait's gonna work. The bait's gonna work. That's kind of a botched burning head though. Yes. Yes. Blast him. I kind of botched the volley though. That was a little bad. I can get the Sunmaker very soon though. So there we go. We're going to Marcus Wolfheart, these guys. And then that's a unit of Wild Hunters of Kurnos. Just straight dead. Just straight dead. He's probably gonna capture that point though. Yes! Okay, he arrowed my my wizard. He used another arrows on my wizard, so he has to be running dry now. Very nice. So now I summon in the Sunmaker, and then he doesn't even know what to do. He doesn't even know what to do after that. Dude, the Sunmaker's gonna cook him. Holy crap, that's gonna be a massive Sunmaker. That is going to be the fattest Sunmaker you've ever seen in your lives. Oh my god. Oh, he's panicking. He's spreading out. He sees it coming from miles away. Do I have another net? I don't. Okay, there we go. Let's get that charging. Let's get that flaming sword. All right, nice. All right, and we just want to push him back. All right. A decent start. I do have another burning head here. That should get some work done. Sunmaker's going ham. Sunmaker's absolutely popping off. Nice. Big route. How's the cavalry fight going? It's going decent. He does have a lot of cavalry here. Knights of the Blazing Sun with Flaming Sword are doing okay, but not amazing, right? I don't like that part. I like the part where the Sunmaker cooks everything, but yeah, that's a little bit more sus. I actually have to pull back a little bit more. What do I need? I think more Knights of the Blazing Sun, right? Okay, he really wants that Bright Wizard. So he actually doesn't target the Sunmaker. Just so he can route the Bright Wizard. That's not the worst, actually. And I have spears here. Sunmaker will continue to bombard him. And then I can use the Grenadiers to kill off these War Dancers. That's not a big issue. What we want here is to kill everything. We want to kill his units and capture the points. That's how we win this. Another Flaming Sword to help out. It should do something, I guess. I think a Burning Head might have been better, but we'll see. Okay, Sunmaker. He's dodging it. He's actually dodging it fairly well. It will run out of ammunition if we're not careful here. But it looks like he's pulling back. And the Knights of the Blazing Sun actually did really well for themselves. The Wizard lived. He survived all 3 arrows of Kurnos, only to rout again. What a guy. But, ouch! Oh, the humanity! The elf-manity! The brutalization continues. Very nice. And that's going to be a solid capture point for me. Nice. Alright. I even still have a lot of huntsmen left. They can still get a lot of work done. He's dodging though. Oh, look at the dodge. Dude, those are some sick dodges. Alright. Does he have anything for the Outriders though? I don't think he does. I can start harassing him. Ah, crap. I don't want to fight Wild Hunters of Kurnos now. Why now? Okay, these guys I'm going to de-summon. Alright. Yeah, you see him? He's starting to roll up. He's starting to roll up a little bit. Okay, we got the net on him, though. That should kill him. Plus a Flaming Sword. Nice! Nice! That's huge! And now we bring in the big guns. What's his spellcaster have? Melkoth's? Totally fine by me. We want Fire at Will on now. Holy crap, Flaming Sword, cook it! The Flaming Sword, cook it! Alright, there we go. So I just want to start blasting them, right? Now that we have our points here, I should be able to start bullying them. His archers can't really progress because they're just gonna have to dodge, right? They're just stuck in a perpetual state of dodging for their lives. And then of course there's this position here. If I just keep bombarding him, life should be fairly difficult. He did just summon the Wild Hunters of Kurnos, one of the most expensive units he could possibly bring onto the battlefield. Another archer gets shot up. The brutality. And I know he doesn't have enough cavalry to save these guys. So I'm about to move in from all directions. He can only summon cavalry in one location, realistically. To save him. And to shut this down. That should be a pretty good Burning Head. Getting that magic out. Nice. Very nice. He's gonna hurt my long rifles just a little bit. But it looks like things are going fine. Marcus is in a bit of a sketchy position, though. I will have to save Marcus. And I think we do have to start pushing forwards. Got a good amount of damage on these dudes, too. But if I keep spamming cavalry, I think we should be okay. I think we should be in relative okayness. Because look at this. What does he have left, right? I'm about to de-summon the Sunmaker. There we go. I'm going to have a bunch of Knights of the Blazing Sun. And I should be able to secure my second capture point in a reasonable amount of time. There we go. It's going well. It's going pretty well. I just gotta, I just gotta summon these guys. Gotta push up with the guns. Looks like he's going for the high ground point, but I know that he's feeling sussed out by everything here. Marcus has a net. He has a net. And yeah, War Dancers versus Grenade Launchers. That's exactly what we want to see. The net's cooking them. And that's another capture point, which means time is on my side. Mildly. Very mildly. Very, very mildly. All right, grenade launchers are doing well. Let's get another wizard out. I'm down for more Burning Head action. These spears are just perpetually braced in the middle of the enemy lines. Love to see it, love to see it. Cavalry are going ham. Nice. All right, and I just got to play a little safe. It's just a little bit of a love tap there, and then a pullback. We're gonna use our grenade launchers. How do you route Marcus? Okay. Such is life. So he did manage to route off Marcus Wolfheart. That's not good. Technically, I can get my nets back, right? But that's obviously pretty bad for me. Looks like he might lose his lord though. Okay, it's not too bad. Wild Riders are kind of suffering. These spears. Just a million spears being ultra annoying here. You know, if he's just gonna keep spamming Wild Riders, I might as well just keep spamming spears, right? To hold points. There's no way he'll have enough Wild Riders to clear all of them off. That's just impossible. So there's a triple cap. Marcus will most likely live by the looks of things. And I should be able to start bullying these Wild Riders. Of course, my spears, they're being kept busy. They're being very kept busy, but it looks like they are winning their fights. Do not underestimate the humble Empire Spearmen. And Marcus rallies. Turn off fire at will. No minus 16 today. Who's winning? I think I'm winning. Based on how this is going, I think I'm winning. Mostly because of the Sunmaker shots at the beginning doing so much damage. Looks like his lord is really suffering now. Marcus is gonna live. The burning, the flaming sword. Flaming sword putting in a lot of work. This point will be very slowly captured. That's not a big deal. And I think I just have too much stuff. Oh, he's gonna get a pretty nice charge here on my knights. The thing is, Wild Riders, they're just not really cooking too hard against what we got. I do have another burning head if I really gotta cast it. And what do I need? Probably another Knight of the Blazing Sun. I think another Knight of the Blazing Sun would be wonderful here. We do win on a single cap, I think, or on a double cap. I believe we win on that. So we're just gonna keep it up, play it slow, get my Knights of the Blazing Sun going. Oh crap! Brace, brace. Okay, yeah, I definitely need a Knight of the Blazing Sun versus those guys. They're terrifying. Marcus can turn on fire at will just to kill these guys. Some Wild Riders over there. Okay. All right. It looks like we did brace effectively. Nice. Yeah, I win on a double cap. That's a good sign. That's a very good sign. Jeez Louise. All right. Brace it. All right. Should be able to get a pretty vicious charge here. We have Knights of the Blazing Sun at the ready. Marcus is still alive by the skin of his teeth. Barely keeping it together. I can't believe it. All right. Here we go. So these guys shouldn't be able to do much. He gets some Elcots off. Losing his lord doesn't really mean very much. But losing the Wild Hunters of Kurnos, oh, that'll be very painful. Goodbye, Wild Hunters. Flaming Sword doesn't actually hit the Knights there, my bad. But, yeah, they're completely surrounded now. We found a use for Flaming Sword, finally. All right, one more Knight of the Blazing Sun. Just keep spamming Knights of the Blazing Sun. You can't magic all of them down. Oh my gosh, all right. I think this wouldn't have been possible without such good bombardments from my artillery piece. Jeez, I barely win on 2 points. Holy crap, that's kind of terrifying. All right. But here we go. We have our archers at the ready. Okay, yeah, he knows that we barely win. So he's going to try and go for one last hoorah and capture my point. If I can kill his lord, though, then he's screwed. It'll simply be too much. I just have to hold on to this 1 point. And then I should be able to win the rest of this. Okay, Marcus is still alive. Looks like he has not really been able to secure the point very well. And a burning head down the pipe. should brutalize those guys. Absolute brutality on his Dryads. Goodbye, leadership. And I'm gonna save up for another Night of the Blazing Sun. Because they are actually amazing. Marcus has fire at will turned off, right? Yes, okay. Alright, here we go. Dude, I barely win. Wait, no, do I barely win? Did I barely win on 1 point or what? It's kind of hard to tell. Looks like his Dryads are actually still tussling. Okay. Did I kill his Lord? I can't tell if we killed his Lord or not. Is he actually going to capture this point? Don't tell me he actually captures this point. That would be brutal. Oh, what is my wizard doing? What is he doing? Wizard making some big misplays. Okay, I'm gonna have to capture another point. No! The wizard missed micro. Oh, the save! The save! Get wrecked! Get wrecked! Alright, 200? Yeah, I barely went on 2. Oh, that was a little bit close. Just a wee bit. But it's all about baiting your opponent, right? Into going into a bad position and taking bad trades. If you think about it, it's actually 5D chess. Oh, jeez. Oh, I want to puke. Oh, dang, he actually has a lot of dudes here. That's some Dryad spam for sure. Marcus should just head over there. Alright, here we go. What do I have? I have 2 units of cavalry against Dryad spam. I need to get some boys in there. This wizard can definitely get there. I know he's sending some fools over in that direction. The spear unit will eventually be able to stop that. These Dryads here look like they don't have enough capture weight. Thank goodness. He's gonna lose his little dude over there. Marcus is gonna help out. Nice. This is such a bad matchup, though, for how close this was. He did have to work his butt off, though, to not die to my artillery piece, though. I think that was really rough. And one more long rifle could have just ended him. What a fight, though. What an absolute scrap. But now I have all the boys here, so he's not capturing that anytime soon. I will be able to surpass him. I will be able to surpass him and take it soon. And it appears my opponent has nothing left. An emergency grenade launcher can be summoned in wherever I need it to be. I think making sure that this point gets secured is what we want. And with Marcus barely surviving by the skin of his teeth, it looks like victory shall be ours. Oh my god, the Wild Hunters are back. Do they ever stop getting resummoned or what? Bro, this guy, he's made out of Wild Hunters of Kurnos. He just always has a million Wild Hunters of Kurnos at the ready. What a terror. Alright, I have grenade launchers on here now, though. There you go. That Waystalk is routed. Let's see. Close victory. Not even Pyrrhic. Hoorah! Alright. So we know the Empire build is not bad. I had to pull off some shenanigans and things had to go really well for me. For me to win. He had a ranged max. Crazy. Alright. Jeez. You can't really cav max it because the Wild Hunters can be really brutal. I guess the alternative, you can go for like a max cav build and maybe just run him over. Good one to send to Turin. He loves some Empire. That's a pretty fun one. That's a pretty fun one to send over. Sure, why not? Oh. Jeez. Well, there we go. I'm gonna need eye drops now. I did not blink very much that game. A fun Emp versus Wood Elf game. Alright. Sunmaker value 1800. Sunmaker. All right. Oh my gosh. Jeez. What a tussle. GG, well played. I'm a paid actor. Oh man. Dude, you made it look real close. Yo, that middle point not getting captured though. You think you would have won if you captured that point? If the middle was captured? Because you had it almost completely secured. I think it would have been very close, but I think I might have still won. Because I had a good few seconds. It would have been very close though, right? Let's see here. It was in your hands to take the point. I did walk off with the Bright Wizard, but I think if you had the Waystalker in there, he probably could have taken it. Do you feel like this is a Wood Elf favored matchup or Empire? I feel like Empire needs the shenanigans to go well for this to work. Oh my gosh. I think it might be close. It's definitely very close. Finalize the tournament. There we go. Were you worried about a Cav max for my build? Did you feel like you could defend a Cav max? I feel like you're a little vulnerable to a full-on Cav max, but I'm not entirely sure. Hawklands. I didn't make much use out of my Hawkland long rifles. I think if I had 2 of them, it would have been better for the build. Better than the grenade launchers. If I had to update my build, I think I would stick with the Hawklands. I like the Knights of the Blazing Sun. I like the Sunmaker. And I really like the Huntsman. Yeah. Cavmax probably would have been harder, but yeah, I think it still would have been a pretty interesting fight. Because I don't have that much cheap cavalry. And you might be able to just shoot me to death. You'd be able to summon 1 or 2 Wild Riders. But like, how much cavalry can I really field? Nice Huntsman baits, by the way. Thank you, thank you. That's one thing that really worked out well. Oh my gosh, what a fight. The Wood Elves look terrifying. I don't think I would want to play this matchup in a tournament. I would feel bad if I had to play this matchup. Even if I think it's winnable, I think it's a little sus. Empire versus Wood Elves. It also depends on the map. There's a lot of maps that will be terrible for Empire using this build. I do really like the Knights of the Blazing Sun. I think you do want a rush build in the back pocket if you're gonna play Empire versus Wood Elves. Cause I think the ranged firefight is getting real sus. Like this is what I see, right? So 4 Knights of the Blazing Sun. Flaming Sword of Ruin. So you're gonna have as much cavalry as they have units, right? Like, okay, yeah, you're still gonna have to get a Lord. What's the best Lord here? I know Terror is really good. I think Boris is just a safe pick. He's a relatively safe pick, although the frames, nah, you don't have healing. So you get Boris with just the basics. Unfortunately, money's a little tight. Good tourney, thank you, thank you. Redeem the stretch, thank you. I'll theorycraft a build and then, I don't know, we'll like raid turn or something. Oh my gosh, jeez, that was so terrifying. Yeah, I think this is a fairly good secondary build to have in the back pocket. It's a little hard getting the money spending just right. Would I really want to cut Kindle Flame? I might just cut the Flaming Sword. Flaming Sword felt good though. But I think Burning Head is just better. If it's a rush build though, can I cut anything on Boris? I can cut Crush the Weak. And then that way I can get a... Oh, I still don't have enough. I can get rid of Crush the Weak and get Foe Seeker? Sure. Alright, so it's only 6 units of cavalry. That's a little more underwhelming, but I think it's still enough to put Wood Elves in an awkward position if they didn't bring the right units. And then you just flood with the Empire Knight and Knight of the Blazing Sun late game. After the initial onslaught, I think what you really need... What do you guys think? What's a good follow-up after this? I think the Huntsmen feel not bad for shooting up Dryads and such. They also don't die to Waystalkers too bad. I could bring in War Wagons. The War Wagons, they only work because he has 1 Arrows of Chronos. Yeah, I think 5 Spears in reserve is really good. You think it just full man-tied it? I guess if, let's say he has like a bunch of, like, yeah, you would need to have like a bunch of melee units, like a lot of spears. Pistoliers and Ori Wild Riders, they do, but they get warded off by the archers a little bit too easily. I'm thinking spears and like huntsmen is not bad. Even more cavalry, go with grenadiers. You know what? Yeah, I could see that. Like 2 grenadiers to bully. If he has 1,000,000 spears, like literally only spears, you have grenadiers. And then you just only spam cavalry to cav fight late game. Because like you can probably just cycle charge most of his stuff to death. I can see that. Get the Zintler's Reiksguard. Get the normal Reiksguard. What would this build lose to? Okay, technically, if he goes for a tree man, you have nothing that can kill treemen. I don't think you need to get that much more cavalry after this. This is starting to get to absurd levels of cavalry. I think a safe endgame for this build is to have like just a handful of huntsmen and 1 spearman shield. And I think this gets done. Zotes are not a problem. Zotes actually suck. I'm convinced that Zotes are the worst thing that have ever befallen Wood Elves, because it makes Wood Elf players think that they can fight cavalry with them, and then they lose. Do Warrior Priests do anything versus Dryads? Not enough. Though, it was a consideration. Do they have magic aura? No. Yeah, Warrior Priests don't bring a lot to the table, and they're way too expensive. Banner of Eternal Flame, though, pretty high. Anyways, too expensive. I think this is good enough. Hope you guys had a great time watching the tournament. I certainly had a great time playing. 6-0, 100% win rate. Puts us back at 18 tournament wins in the #1 slot. We've defeated Charix again, temporarily. And I'll see you guys on Monday or Sunday, I guess. On the Twitch side, everybody get ready to raid Turin. He's playing Dawn of War, but let's be real, most of you guys also watch Turin. Ooh, I think I just got a partner for Twitch too, so that means I can finally start streaming in HD. Holy crap. Took millennia. That'll be fun though. And you know what? Usually I give Twitch chat the YouTube link. I'm gonna give YouTube the Twitch link this time. How's it feel, YouTube? How does it feel? Anyways, I'll see you guys later. Peace. And next up, Chaos Dwarf campaign only war, with the drill campaign mechanics on the Immortal Empires. Also, of course, thank you very much to our members. Peace.